Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever you identify as. Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the final table of the Stones 6-shooter 100K guarantee. With me is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. Should I say legend? Is it that far yet?
No, definitely not. Yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Michael Longcar. I said all that, and I didn't say Michael Longcar.
Thank you.
We have a very exciting final table for a special tournament that we ran, the Stones 6-shooter.
Yes.
Kind of a different concept as far as tournaments go. I know if you weren't cruising around in Hawaii, you would have been here for sure. We might have even hit the guarantee.
Dang.
So that's the first thing. 100,000 guaranteed for a 200 buy-in. We missed it by 12,000. Now some people get like sad for us. Don't worry, we got it. We got it. This is great for the players. It inflates all the spots. It's super positive EV, right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Poker players are hunting these overlays.
Yes. No, this is. I'm actually as great of a time as I had in Hawaii this past week. I'm really bummed I didn't get to play this tournament. So for those of you that don't know about this tournament, the specifics, last weekend there were there were 6 starting flights total.
Over 3 days.
Over 3 days, 2 a day. And the really unique thing about this tournament was that players got to... So basically every single time that a player made day 2 in this tournament, it's already explained. Okay,
right.
So
they combine their stacks. They add them together.
If you played all 6 flights and made day 2 every single time, all 6 of your stacks would be combined into your stack for day 2. So yes, I probably would have fired off about $12,000.
The most buy-ins from any player. One player bought in 16 times.
Wow.
So yeah, there were definitely people firing massive bullets. Out of the 72 qualifiers today, only one person triple qualified, and 7 of the people are double qualifiers. And here's something interesting: only one double qualifier is here at the final table. Everyone else is a single.
Oh wow!
So very interesting.
Value. Wow.
That being said, let's head down to the table and introduce you to the players, and also let you know where they stand, where their chip stacks are.
Yes, let's go there.
All right. So they're in seat 1. Actually, and before we start talking about these guys, I want to tell you that it's like all guys that we see like non-stop. Like everybody except seat 3 has been at a final table here on Stones Live. So this is pretty cool. You'll recognize most of these guys. Marco in seat 1, a tournament crusher. Currently the point leader for our Tournament of Champions, which runs every 6 months. It's a 15K free roll we do for our regular. Marco's a crusher. He's got kind of a lighter stack compared to the other guys at the table, 237,000. There in seat 2, the one, the only
Chris Hinchcliffe.
Chris Hinchcliffe is there.
My man.
He is sitting on the short stack, guys. He has some work to do, 167K. Moving over into seat 3 is Ryan. Ryan is a newcomer.
Ryan's a very good player. I've actually played against him.
You know about him?
I've actually played at his table a couple times in the last few months. I played against him in the WPT main, and I played him here in one of the last Sunday tournaments. So
I took a picture of him smiling earlier, and he said he wanted me to retake the picture so he can mean mug the camera.
Okay.
Ryan just about 50K shy of having $1 million. Seat number 4 is Die with 278,000. Another regular to the stream, one of my personal favorite players. Don't tell anybody though. Okay. Is George sitting on 583,000.
Nice.
Man is our chip leader. Man in seat 6 with almost 2.5 million.
Wow.
So we have little over 6 million in play. He's approaching having half the chips in play just on his own. And then last but most certainly not least, seat 7 is Wilson with 1.9 million. So we got quite a matchup here. A lot of deep stacks. The blinds right now are at 10 and 20,000 with a 3,000 ante. The players are deep, so we should see some good deep stack poker play.
I'm really excited. This is this is such a great structure. There's gonna be a lot of play. I'm really excited to see what we have in store for us tonight.
Look at this on the very first hand. We have Chris all in with Ace King versus Ace Jack, and that is. It looks like we have Man's name on die, so hopefully we can get that fixed shortly. That is a picture of die, but Man is actually the player all in.
Oh, and there's
right
the
there.
Jack.
Jack on the flop.
Wow. Now Man needs a king or a queen. Got the hands flipped there on the screen. Chris is actually from my hometown of Olympia, Washington, so good friends with him. And and wow, what an interesting turn card. Now Chris can redraw with a queen for a chop, a heart for the nuts, a jack for the win. He needs a heart or a jack, ladies and gentlemen. A queen for a chop, he wouldn't mind at this point. Oh, queen of hearts. And excuse me, Chris had the ace king.
Yeah.
I got it all mixed up. Wow, what a sick beat. I apologize, everyone.
Wow, so Chris out on the first hand of the final table.
Wow.
Getting it in is a huge favorite, but well played, Chris. Out of 516 players, he's out in 7th, and he's taking home $2,610.
I feel for you, Chris. That's a heartbreaker. You made a perfect shove with 8 big blinds with ace king, which essentially feels like aces right there in that spot.
Yeah, you know, you play perfect all day, and then you get it in way good, and you go out. That's poker,
That's
right?
poker. That's the game. Good game, Chris. Wow, what a heartbreaker right to start the final table. Great run though. And just before we dive into any more poker, I just have to get this off my brain. I just have to give a shout out to my awesome girlfriend Alex for taking me to Hawaii, showing me around last week. Best week of my life. I just had to throw it out there real quick. I just had to say it.
Well, there you have it. I'd like to thank her for bringing him back, so I don't have to do commentary by myself tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
love all around. Nothing but love.
All right, so we got a new hand shaping up here. Now we are 6-handed finally. Now this tournament was 10-handed all the way through to the final 60 players on day 2. We redraw for 6-handed. So some players want to know, why is the final table 7-handed then if it's 6-handed? Any TDA tournament is always a +1 for whatever max you're playing, with a maximum of 10 on the table. So if you were playing 5-handed tournament, I don't know if they have 5-handed tournaments.
No, they should.
But if they had 5-handed tournaments, final table would be 6. If it's 8, final table is 9. But if it's 9, or if you had a 14-handed tournament, it'd still be 10 at the final table.
Okay.
14-handed?
That makes sense.
That happens?
14-handed, we could maybe make that happen. Maybe that's the next tournament here, Stones.
All right, so we got Di and Ryan heads up. And now I do need to remind our viewers, we're going to get this fixed. Our apologies. But Di and Man's pictures
we saw a little flip-flop there.
They're flipped. Okay.
Lo siento, ladies and gentlemen.
So we'll get that fixed for you guys, but do keep in mind now this is Di playing, even though it's Man's picture on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ryan limped in out of the small blind with 4 deuce. Di checked his option with 6-3, and Ryan checked the flop. Di bet. Ryan checks. Turn comes to ace. Di has the open ender.
Bob, did you catch that? Thank you.
And hopefully for Ryan, this is just going to check out here, and he'll ship here with bottom pair 4s. It'll be interesting to see here if Di decides to make a bluff here on the river.
No, it would be a semi-bluff. He is open-ended for a straight draw, and he doesn't know this, but Ryan doesn't have a very powerful hand.
No, and you have to figure if your opponent check calls the flop out of the small blind, checks the turn, and checks the river. This is an ace on the turn, a king on the river. This is a good run out to make a bluff here. You figure your opponent's going to be weak.
Looks like he's going to.
You're representing, there's so many hands that you could have here, and now you're putting Ryan in a difficult spot with a lot of 4s and 5s.
Very tough to call.
4s and 5s is a massive hero call.
Look at the pain on Ryan's face.
I feel the pain. I see the pain. I feel it.
You've been there, right?
I've definitely been there many
Ryan does have the check mark right now, but he's facing a bet of 48K, and he's going to let it go. Die takes the pot down.
That's a great play.
Yeah.
Your opponent checks to you. You've got an open-ender straight draw where you're drawing the nuts. You bet to poke at it. You have to bet it.
there.
And yeah, great bluff on the river.
If he doesn't bet there, the chat's gonna grill him.
Exactly.
You don't want that.
You gotta step it up right there.
Speaking of the chat, we haven't said hi to you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it.
I am always like an extra step appreciative of the viewers we get when we do a final table, because I mean, people are used to us being here Monday night, Wednesday night from 7 to 10 p.m. But these final tables kind of sporadic and random, so that they actually have to be following us on Twitter or have the updates on Twitch and know, like, be looking for us to go live. So you guys are the true MVPs, and we appreciate you being here. We get some shout outs from them later. We get a few more in, see where everybody's watching from. I could probably tell you most. I know, I see that one, Rick in Barstow.
Yeah.
He watches from Barstow.
Yes.
I know.
That's all we know.
A big giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for joining in, checking it out tonight. First place is just over $20,000.
D Bizzle in the chat room says, Justin, I wanted more than $606 today. Well, I think I told you earlier, if you want more money, you have to play better. Simple as that.
Simple.
Right?
It's so easy.
Play better, you get more.
So Mon raises here to 2.5 times the big blind to 50K. Nice little standard opening raise. Marco makes a call from the cutoff with King Queen. And Marco flops top pair, strong kicker. Expect to see a continuation bet here from, am I saying that correctly, Mon?
I think it's Man.
Man, excuse me.
Yeah. You might be right. I don't know. I have called players the wrong names for years before being corrected sometimes. Yeah.
And actually a nice check here by Man with the, the worst hand after raising pre-flop. Marco bets 50K into 148, 1/3 the pot. And Man is trying to decide what he wants to do. Will he continue? What to do? What to do? Oh, nice fold. Played that hand actually super perfect. Raise pre with ace-9, your opponent flops top pair, you've got x-ray vision, you check fold, right?
You know, you don't have 2.5 million chips starting the final table in this tournament unless you have some good reasons.
Yeah.
I actually told Man this tonight, and I meant it. He is probably in the top 5 poker players in Sacramento. He doesn't play a lot of tournaments, but he shows up for these big tournaments, and his final table hit rate is huge. I don't even know how he does it. If he wrote a book, I'd buy it. I would want to. I want to know what he's doing, but I think a lot of it is his ability to size up his opponent, to read other players, and to know the right move to make. I mean,
that's everything.
That's huge, right?
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah.
Ryan folds 6-4 suited in the cutoff. Die looking at ace-king suited on the button, which feels like aces in a way. So strong.
Right?
Everyone's opening the button so wide nowadays. Ace-king suited. The very, very tippity top of the raising range. And Die has just under 15 big blinds and decides to open ship it all in.
And it's ace-king versus
and Man looks at ace-king and...
This is super confusing because we still have their picture switched. It's fixed. The delay has to catch up. So you have Die with Man's picture and Man with Die's picture, and we need to flip those, make them right. All right.
Oh,
so,
and here's Die with the backdoor spade draw.
All right.
He's got the chance to scoop this with a perfect spade run out.
How crazy!
Let's get a spade on the turn one time just for a sweat.
Just
Come on.
Sweat it.
Doesn't need to river the spade. Just turn the spade. Okay.
No,
chop it up.
It's going to be chopped up. So interesting. I have the. It's kind of like a little chip matrix of where everybody started day 2. There were 72 players today out of 516, and I just kind of want to give you an idea of how these people came into today. So Chris, who we just lost, let's see if we can find him on here. Chris. There's so many names on here.
And look at that. I love that. Instead of putting the big blind, the amount of big blinds Man has, they just put 38%. He's got 38% of chips in play.
Well, yeah, when he has that many.
And
so Chris actually started the day off with 118,000, ended up at the final table with 167,000. Now, there were a lot of points tonight where he had a lot of chips. I didn't see what happened, but I think before the final table, he probably took a big hit. And then, of course, we saw the brutal hand he went out on,
Man.
totally dominating his opponent.
And yeah, just to get a nice little boost back up to what he would have had about 18, 19 bigs, completely healthy again. He's a great player. The way it goes.
I think he just recently cashed a Big Thunder event, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Die looking down at Ace King again. Back-to-back Ace Kings for Die. Sitting on just about the same chip stack.
How do you get so lucky? Ace King twice in a row?
Moves all in again for 15 big blinds from the cutoff.
He must be living right.
And looks like George is calling, I think, with nines. It's either...
So Die's all in,
Yes.
305.
And yes, George was just flat called.
Okay, it's Ace King versus Pocket Nines.
Both players played their hand absolutely perfect. A very standard flip that's just going to happen here no matter who's sitting in these seats.
Pretty much a flip. Now, a lot of you might know, if you know percentages, that the 9 should be slightly better. You can see the percentages here favor the Ace King. That's because we are aware of some information. We know some cards that have been folded.
So George holding up here with the nines. Die hoping for the Ace King or backwards
there
spades.
There it is. Okay.
Wow.
Die is going to take about 300,000 in chips off of my favorite player.
Unless.
No.
Oh! I was thinking of the 9 of clubs, too.
That is kind of scary. Okay, so looking at some of our day 2 qualifiers, seat 1 there, Marco, was actually a double qualifier. So he qualified 2 different flights, came in today with 203,000.
He only fired 2 bullets and
I don't know how many bullets he fired. But he did qualify twice.
So nonetheless, he's making money here today.
Let's see if I can find Ryan, who's sitting there in seat number 3. There might be more than one Ryan on there too. Looks like Ryan is a single qualifier, started the day with 103,000. Die. And if you guys want to check this out, like kind of see like what led up to this today, this is posted on our Twitter feed at Stones Live Poker, so you can take a peek for yourself. Die started with 88,400, also a single qualifier. I have a feeling George came in as a big stack. This guy is just a crusher. And I've seen him at a lot of final tables. He gets underestimated a lot. And that's a big mistake. He played the first flight only and started with 181,000. Now the biggest stack was 220.
Wow.
So he wasn't too far behind.
Wow.
Let's see if we can find Man on here.
God, I'm so disappointed I didn't get to play this tournament. I really am.
You could have played Friday before you went.
I thought about it, but I knew there'd be a chance I might stay an extra couple days.
Oh, okay.
Just, a very small chance of that.
Let's check out this hand. We'll get those last 2 starting chip stacks for you guys after this hand.
I'm so excited to be here in the booth. All these deep stacks.
That's the other thing.
So much play.
If you played, you would be there, and then I'd have to be in here alone. That's no good.
So I had to take one for the team and not take first place today.
We appreciate it. Wilson wakes up with the 9s this time.
Wilson, the small blind of 9s.
It's everyone's folded, so he's going to go ahead and raise it up and see if Marco wants to come along here.
Oh wow. Both players have 9s.
We're seeing a lot of this today.
We are definitely going to see a call from Wilson.
And it's pocket 9s versus pocket 9s, so the only way someone wins here is if the board runs out 4 of a suit.
Yeah, both players have about a 1% chance of a tie, and that's not going to happen this time. Chop it up.
All right, take your chips back onto the next hand. Let's see if I can find Man on here. This guy also solid player. I think he's probably going to have a big chip stack coming in, and he just worked that chip stack up the whole day to have 2.5 million at this final table. These guys started at 11 today, so they only played 8 hours before getting to this point. Oh, actually, this is even more impressive. Man came in as a single qualifier with only 45,000 today.
Oh, wow.
And hits the final table sitting on 2.5 mil.
Nice comeback.
Yeah, very nice. Well played. I thought he was going to be a bigger crusher coming in today, too.
Yeah.
Actually, one player, the shortest stack, had 6,700.
Yeah.
And he made it to like 30th place.
Oh, wow.
Crazy, right?
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, folds to Marco in the small blind. Looking ace-8, looking down at about 16 big blinds. So many ways to play this hand here with ace-8 in the small blind.
So when you're short-handed like this, like six-handed, ace-8 looks like gold, right?
It really does, especially out of the small blind when you're only facing one random hand to your left. Statistically, you've got the best hand here 80-90% of the time. 90-something% of the time.
Well, he's got a dominant hand here, but we have seen how dominant hands have been working out tonight.
And Ryan makes a good fold here. He realizes his opponent is raising to 3 big blinds out of the small blind with only 13 big blinds behind. You're going to put yourself in a difficult spot when you flop middle pair with a 6 or an 8. You're learning what to do. You know, I think the big thing here at a final, especially at a final table with the pay-up jumps being so big from every spot up, is just to avoid difficult spots.
Yeah.
Ryan just did that.
You know, poker's really easy. You put your money in when you're good, and you fold when you're bad. And that's it. If you do that every time, you're always going to win.
So easy. Yeah. So easy.
If only more people would listen to you.
And George looks down under the gun at pocket 5s with 11 big blinds. 5 people behind him. And this is interesting. He raises to 3 times the big blind, leaving 8 big blinds behind with pocket 5s. Interesting way to play this hand. Marco calls with king queen suited on the button.
Every time you say Marco, I want to say Polo.
Marco! And we are going to go heads up to the flop. 168,000 in the middle.
Now George only has probably 1 5 left because we did see a 5 fold in. Ace, 9, deuce, and
wow!
George
And what an
jammed.
interesting hand.
George just jammed.
George thinks he's bluffing, but he's actually got the best hand
He's got
here.
the best hand currently.
It's a coin flip.
Marco's got overs. He's got the draw. You can see up top. He
What a
has
crazy
a
hand.
ton of outs, but only 10 that are actually remaining in the deck. Very exciting hand.
And how excited is George when you move all in, you get a snap call on this board, and you actually have the best hand.
Oh.
Wow, interesting turn
Now,
right now. Now he can
he's
hit a
in
9.
danger to a 9 as
Yep.
well.
Still a 70% favorite to double up and stay alive in this tournament. Oh, and
Right,
he pulls it off.
George, 5's holding up. What do you think about that? Snap shove, snap call with that hand?
I mean, this is a bizarre hand. I mean, honestly, personally, with me right there with 11 big blinds under the gun, I would have moved all in pre-flop, as my hand is just strong enough with my stack size to make a correct mathematical shove there and avoid a tough decision, because you're going to have 2 or 3 overcards almost every time.
He just stuffed it.
I mean, wow, it's...
You get pocket 5s with an ace on the board and you just stuff it. Basically what you're saying is, I don't think you had an ace, but maybe his opponent had an ace, he would have clicked back, right?
Maybe, yeah, and obviously he was hoping to just get Marco to fold, and much to his dismay, he got snapped, and then he saw the good news.
Look, I'll tell you this.
It's crazy hand. Really
I don't know what George was doing there, but I do know that George makes a lot of final tables, so at least he must know what he's doing there.
He definitely has some method to his madness.
For sure.
The play worked out great, and he is now healthy again. Well over, should be about 23, 24 big blinds.
Man wakes up with pocket 10s under the gun. I keep getting thrown off because it's the picture of die.
I know.
It's going to be fixed any minute, by the way. This is so funny. You're so dark. I'm looking in the screen. You're so dark, Michael. I look like a ghost. I feel like I'm like beaming like one of those holy figures in the paintings where the light beams are coming off of them.
Man. It's that Croatian blood.
How much time did you spend in the sun?
We were literally in the sun the entire time, like every day for 6, 7, 8 hours. I did surfing for the first time, and tried surfing for the first time, should I say?
It's not as easy as it looks, right?
I think maybe 2 more times out on the water and I'll be a professional. for sure. And I think it'll be like a top 5 surfer in the world.
I like it.
Definitely
Put your
not.
mind to
Definitely
it.
not.
Put your mind
Definitely
to it.
not.
So we got a flop here. Man flops top set.
Wow.
And this might have be kind of the way that you get 2.5 million in chips is by flopping top set.
And this is a very unfortunate flop for Ryan. You know, when you call a raise with pocket 8s and you flop a 7 4 10 flop.
This doesn't look horrible, right?
This is a great flop for pocket 8s.
Yeah.
And luckily for him, though, he has got a lot of he's got backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. It doesn't hit.
Not anymore.
Man now.
Check mark on the turn.
Man now with this hand, you know you're gonna have your opponent drawing dead here just about 99.9% of the time.
If he's correct, then he should check.
I was just gonna say that's probably the best play here. You're out of position. A check looks weak here. Pocket 8s is gonna think he has the best hand.
Yeah.
When he gets checked here with this action, and will most likely put a bet out here. Drawing completely dead.
The double check. Take another look. Do I really have pocket
gosh. Oh, I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do.
Man right now just thinking, how do I get the most out of him? How do I get the most?
And yeah, this is so easy for us to sit here and there it is. Ryan bets 90K.
Now,
after man checked.
I think here it's a check raise. And let me tell you why. Because if you don't check raise and get money in right here, I think your opponent is probably going to give up on the river. I think at this point, you gotta get all the chips in as much as you can right now. What do you think?
I honestly would just call. I would honestly just call because.
Well, he listened to me. 200,000 to go.
Nothing to do with seeing the cards here, like not knowing my opponent's hand. I'm gonna call.
Why are you calling though? Like, do you think you're gonna get more money on the river?
I would hope that a busted flush draw will bluff at me.
So you're checking the river too?
I will hope
you're calling and checking the river?
I will check the river, and check raise the river. Especially against Ryan. Ryan's a really good player.
If anybody wants to learn how to play poker against Michael Longcar, just keep watching.
And honestly, like this isn't. I can't really say there's like a set way I would play this hand every single time. It kind of depends on the player, depends on the position. Because I'm out of position.
You know
here,
Ryan.
And because I'm out of position here against Ryan, who's a very good player, I'm gonna play the hand a little differently. I'm gonna set a little more of a trap. I'm gonna let him fire at me a little bit. I think it's good to kind of. Obviously, like if I had a hand like Ace King here, I would have raised pre. I would have checked this flop. I would have bet the flop. Ryan called with his 8s, and I would have checked and show. Which shows my weakness on the turn. I want to merge my nothing hands with my nutted hands, if that makes sense.
So that you're unreadable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that in the future when I check the turn, you got to be weary. Does this guy have a huge hand? Does he have nothing? I don't know. It's not just a weak.
A regular player in our cash stream that's exceptional at doing what you're just talking about, expanding his range and playing hands so that they all blend together. I'm talking about Harlan, by the way. Harlan is exceptional at just kind of keeping things disguised because he will play a deuce 4 the same way he'll play pocket aces.
And I feel like on that board specifically, because you have pocket 10s and your hand is just basically the nuts.
Man scooping a big pot, moving closer to that 3 million mark with just about 6.2 million in play. Man is approaching having almost half the chips in play.
Wow, that's a nice seat to be in right now.
What a crusher.
What a beast. Everyone's guaranteed over 3,200 now. This is right where the jumps start to get big in the payouts.
Yeah, so the next
Everyone's
one out is getting $3,200. That is an $800 jump from the last place.
Yep.
Pretty huge.
All right, folds around to George in the small blind, who limps in with King 7.
And Man's gonna bump it up a little bit. He says 30,000 more. George,
wow!
Did George just repop?
I love the like slow. Like I was trying to check raise or limp raise you right here.
That
like
is so great.
It looks so strong. It really does.
Wow!
It's so quick. Like he meant it. Like he was planning on it with a big
Do you see
hand.
why he's my favorite player?
He mixes it
He's
up.
an animal. I can tell you this. I would not want to be at the table with him. And it was like so, like he was just waiting for the raise. Like man puts in 30,000 more.
He was just hoping for it.
George just jams another 100,000 in and takes it down pre-flop. Okay, put yourself in man's shoes though, and then you go home later and you watch that play. What are you thinking?
You're definitely not thinking the guy has king 7 offsuit.
Right.
You're thinking he's got maybe pocket kings or
I think like ace king, ace queen, right? And he's just, I want to see if I can hit a flop, and then you're gonna get frisky. Fine, let's play then, right? I was trying to be friendly.
And it really was. It really looked like it was his plan. Like he had a huge hand. Nice play. Very nice, George. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us in the chat. For those of you watching, you can create a screen name on Twitch, hop in the chat box, and say whatever you want.
No, not whatever you want. Not whatever you want. Okay.
Within
look, don't encourage them like that.
Within a PG setting.
PG-13.
PG-13.
PG-13 is okay.
Excuse me.
You know, when we do JK Squared, Justin Kelly, Justin Caritas, we do the Urban Dictionary word of the night, and we always have to warn our viewers in advance, like, please don't post the word in the chat, because they're always going to.
Yeah.
They're always going to.
Yeah.
See, Master C, whatever you want in both letters.
You want.
You got to be careful what you say in here. So a lot of people have commented that I focus more on the game when it's a tournament, and I think there's something to I'm a poker lover, and I love all forms of poker, but my passion is tournament poker.
Me too.
So it's really where my mind like clicks with what's going on. So as much as I love the cash game and I love to talk about the cash game, it's easy for me to get distracted. But in tournament, it's always just so exciting because the jumps are so dramatic. You know, it's not like, oh, you won this big a pot and you're going to come back and you can keep buying in. It's so final. If you screw up, you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, you can't rebuy. So I mean, it's a whole different mentality to playing tournaments.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's interesting for me, like, you know, playing cash games most of the time as my daily grind. Mm-hmm. It's fun, and I really do enjoy how it's definitely more of a social game.
Yeah.
A lot more talking, a lot more lightheartedness going on
in the cash game.
Yeah. Compared to tournament. But I love tournaments so much more because of the competitive, you know, nature, the chance to win 100 times the amount of money you put in to get in.
Oh yeah.
Just the excitement from that.
So great. George with King 9 suited is betting into Marco, who has hit his king but has an ace on the board, and Marco says, I have a delivery
and now
for
see
you.
That pocket fives hand's coming into play. He's realizing, like, wow, like, okay. And he had very little chips left, so he was just getting this in here.
I think Marco went into this hand thinking, if I connect in any way, they're all going in. I don't care what happens.
And George is looking for a king.
Or running clubs,
or a backdoor straight draw.
Nines.
And he needs a king and a king only on the river.
And drum roll. Boom. Nope. If you put an ocean card up there, he might get a flush.
He might.
Yeah.
One more club.
So Marco's going to stay alive, doubling up through George. And that might knock George down to the short stack. Let's take a look at the chip counts. There they are. Okay, Marco's still the small stack with 272, but definitely much better than where he started the hand. Yeah, he can actually play a little poker. George is right on top of him with 410,000, and I'm still rooting for George. Yeah.
Got it.
And I saw a comment by JB Darts earlier, and there it is, yeah. Damn, every final table, there's George. Yeah, and it's true, I was telling you that earlier. He makes every damn final table.
The last time I was in your final table, just a few weeks ago, he was there. Yeah, he's been doing very well. Die looks down at Queen 9 offsuit, playing 30 big blinds. Or excuse me, 20 big blinds. No. 30 big blinds. You get my math straight. Makes the fold.
George with ace-6.
20 big blinds in the hijack.
I think we're going to see him get frisky here. He's thinking about it.
He's
like, oh, my last hand. My last hand. That's what I always do when I'm in a tournament and I see a nice starting hand. I'm like, probably my last hand. Looks like it's about 60,000 going in there. Oh, 70,000 for George, and it's going to fold around to Ryan in the big blind. Looks down at King 3 suited. George will scoop another pot. George was playing on table 16 earlier in the night, and he had 3 beautiful girls sitting behind him, cheering him on. And I think I kind of ruined his mojo because I walked over to card them. And they didn't have their IDs on.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm sorry, George. I have to kick out your cheerleader section. They said they had them out in the car, but one of them was like so ecstatic to be carded. Said she was 30. I'm like, sure, you're 20. You know, you're just 20 years old. But yeah, I'm sorry, George, right now, and I'm sorry.
What a bad beat.
I'm sorry to the lovely ladies that were cheerleading him earlier, but when you look young, just bring your ID with you. We'll let you stay. Might even buy you some pot stickers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right?
Well, maybe George would have gotten a little more distracted and not made this final table. So
I don't think anything distracts George from poker. Marco with Ace King special delivery. All of his chips going in the middle.
Wow, and look at this. Guy
wakes
looks
up
down at
with
pocket jacks.
Oh my God. Now he is pretty healthy right now. 581K. I think you got to put 250 in.
He started the hand with 30 big blinds. You look down at a open from man who you know is going to be opening wide with the big stack. And all in for 13 big blinds from Marco, who you're not concerned about having you beat here. And I think this is just 100% all in right here. You've got 29 bigs.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
He listened to you.
Yeah.
That's nice when they listen to you.
There's nothing else you can really do here. If you call the 13 big blind all in, you're leaving 17 big blinds behind.
Right? You want to isolate. You only want to be playing against the one hand. And Dai is in pretty good shape here. 59%.
I love the spot. It's a great
Jacks
spot.
versus Ace King. And these are the points in poker. There it is, right on cue. You got to win these flips to win in poker. That's
so crucial. Such a massive butterfly effect here to ship this pot, knock a player out, have a bigger stack. Oh, and you're just praying to God the 3 now. Chop!
Right.
Chop it up one time. Come on! Here it is. The 3! Oh, wow.
How'd you know?
Wow. I mean, come on.
You felt it coming?
I felt it.
There you have it. Ace King and pocket jack's gonna chop it up with a straight on the board.
Wow.
Welcome to Stones.
Marco's got to be a little sick to his stomach there with the way that ran out, but hey, it could have been worse.
I mean, you hit the ace, you're very happy. I saw a guy go out in 13th place. One of our dealers, Matt S., was playing earlier, and he was in a perfect double up spot, ace jack versus pocket eights. Hits his ace right on the flop. He's happy on the turn, 8 on the river. It was so brutal.
Oh, the pain.
He was the final Stones employee that was in the tournament. He was our last hope to have a Stones employee at the final table. Cool. Tournament director Con Tran made it to about 30th.
Oh, wow.
We had like probably about 6 or 7 employees in day 2, so that was nice too.
Nice.
Yeah. All of them, of course, out on horrible sick beats. All of them played perfect, as expected.
As expected.
Joking. I like how you're just going along with everything I say, though. It makes me feel good. He's just like, yeah. All right, we got a raise up to 50K from Man, and for those of you following along, we did get those pictures corrected, so you don't have to use your brain anymore. Just enjoy the stream.
And George here, facing an under-the-gun raise from Man, whose chip leader has been opening a lot of pots.
George isn't putting the pressure
is saying,
on him.
I got ace 9. I don't believe you. I'm going to ship it in. He's right.
And
He's
zero fear of the big stack. Zero fear.
And this is a bold shove. I mean, you're facing an under-the-gun raise. You have 22 big blinds. You don't need to shove here. There's a short stack behind you, sitting on a shorter stack.
Look, George just isn't pushing chips in, though. He's reading his opponents, he's looking for signs of weakness, and he's exploiting them.
He's definitely fearless, and aggression definitely wins tournaments, and that's why he's here. Aggression wins poker tournaments all the time. If you're a very aggressive player, you've got a good shot to win.
Unless your name is Justin Caritis, and then aggression just gets you knocked out in the first level.
Folds around to Ryan down the cutoff. Hasn't had anything really to play here yet. Die on the button with ace-8. Definitely going to see an open raise here. Started the hand with 31 big blinds. Nice healthy stack.
And we have about 3 minutes left in this level. The blinds will increase to 15,000 and 30,000. This jump though in blinds, not too huge considering how deep the stacks are, right? Like a lot of final tables, you get like very shallow final tables. You know, everyone maybe has like 5 to 10 big blinds. This will really get an opportunity to see some deep stack poker, which I think makes it much more exciting.
This is what
players actually get to play poker. It's not just I got ace king them all in. You know, although that has happened a couple times.
No, this is great. Lots of play. Oh, there's still 1,000 chips.
Yeah, well, we have right now a 3,000 ante, and I believe one more level with 4,000 ante, maybe 2 more levels with the 4,000.
Oh, look at that. Die raises ace-8 on the button, basically flops the essential nuts with top 2 on an ace-7-8 rainbow flop, the dream. You're hoping the man has something to continue here.
He needs perfect running cards in order to catch up. And he is putting a bet out. So now Die is thinking, how do I get maximum value out of this?
Man decides to
real
bet
draws
out.
To worry about, right?
Wow. Yeah, man bets out. I mean, you know, you are a little weary of a 5-6 or a 9-10, but with a bet out here, you know, I wouldn't really be too concerned about it.
By the way, I brought you a couple waters just in case you get thirsty.
Nice.
Yeah, thinking of you. I know you look like you've been dehydrated for
I'm
a
actually
week,
very
so,
dehydrated. And I think this is a good spot for a raise. I like to see a small raise here.
That looks not like a small one. It looks like about 150,000 went into the pot. 175,000. So Die in very good shape here, but I think he's not going to get much action on that. With top 2, heads up in a 6 max tournament, personally, I think I just call there.
And
see if man will keep firing,
and that's
right?
totally an option right there.
Do you think he's scared he's playing against a draw? What do you think's going on with him?
I think he well, obviously he knows he has the best hand. I think he definitely doesn't want to give, you know, 9-10 or a 5-6 an opportunity to just turn the nuts on him, and he's going to be gone. Like, you're not going to fold your hand if the turn comes a jack or a 6.
Man's thinking for a while there. Let me ask you, like, is he really thinking about it?
He wasn't thinking about anything. All he was thinking about is how long am I going to take to fold this hand. That's all he was thinking about. He's a good player. He was taking a poke at a pot.
So it's actually
maybe creating a little meta game for a later hand. Maybe he'll bet out later with a big hand. You know, it's nice to merge your range there with nothing hands and strong hands. Yeah, when your opponent raises to 175 and has 400,000 back, that's super strong.
And you have king high.
Yeah, you got king high. Like no need to blow up right there. And hopefully he uses that in a later time with a stronger hand. Make a small bet out again.
He's advertising.
Raise.
He's setting it up for the future.
Setting up some metagame there for sure.
Round a Die with 6-7 off suit. Let's see if he wants to mix things up here. Maybe if it was suited. Maybe suited, then he'd go. George now with 8-7 off suit. He's getting in there. 20,000 just a call.
Definitely a playable hand on the button.
See, now it's interesting because George isn't like some players I hear, I always raise. I never enter the pot without a raise. George will raise, he'll limp, he'll check.
And now this is going to be really interesting now because George and Man have just been duking it out. And now Man raises into George here. I wouldn't be surprised if George pulled it all in here or something crazy.
Let's see how George's intuition is here. Oh, and it looks like it was good. We didn't see him. The camera was in the wrong spot.
Wow, he folded for 40 more. Wow.
He did.
Does he have X-ray vision?
I don't know.
What's going on? I'm starting to believe it.
He's damn good.
I'm thinking maybe he looked at his whole cards, limped in, and then forgot to like zone in on the ace king, and then looked at it and was like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna fold now."
Well, if you have X-ray vision and can see the opponent's cards, you got to make some mistakes once in a while.
That's true.
Because
just to make it believable, right?
Perfect.
You can't play actually.
Yeah,
perfect.
they're gonna be
especially
like,
on a live stream.
I'm not playing with this guy anymore. He's perfect.
Maybe that's what George does. He plays absolutely flawless X-ray vision poker to the final tables, and then he like almost like some final take. Maybe he actually takes like fourth sometimes on purpose just to make it believable. That's
what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's a real thing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh, here we go. Ryan looking down at queens.
Finally a hand, Ryan.
The blinds just went up, which is beautiful.
And he's doing his mean mug poker face.
He's got the poker face down. He's got 20 big blinds with queens.
Yep. What's up, Jimmy Bluffett joins us in the chat room. Nice to see you,
Jimmy
buddy.
Bluffett. Aloha.
Have you ever met him in person? Are you Twitter friends and Twitch friends?
You know what? I'm honestly not sure. I know who Jimmy Bluffett. Who are you? What's going on?
Who are you?
Who are you, man? I know I recognize that. I'm so bad with like.
So Wilson even lets Ace-9 go here. Ryan gonna get no action on his queens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. Hasn't really had a lot to play with here. He played his eights perfectly a little bit ago.
And this is what happens when you have a final table and 6 phenomenal players. You know, you're gonna come to a grind.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about this structure is that you know, patience as well as aggression can win, and you don't really need to have a hand to play here. You just wait for spots, let the blinds go through a few times if you need to.
I think you hurt Jimmy Bluffett's feelings.
Feels bad, bro.
Once again, guys, you are watching the final table of the Stones 6-shooter tournament, 100,000 guaranteed tournament. There is $12,000 of free casino money in this prize pool. Congratulations to all the players who cashed and got a little extra money from us here at Stones. We love to give money away here at Stones.
We do.
Did you hear we might be giving away $1 million? Did you hear about that? I'll tell you about it later. Got your attention.
You definitely got my attention. Man continuing his aggressiveness, opening wide every chance he gets from late position. Opens Jack-9 from the cutoff to 60K, a little min raise.
And we do have Miss Jenna in the box slinging cards now, little dealer change going on. And for those of you not familiar, she is Backup Justin. Anytime I go on vacation, she becomes the boss. Justin. Backup Justin.
That is her name. Some of the time. Expect to see Ryan. It's a little borderline spot there, 6-7 for 30K Mori. Totally fine to make that fold. Go either way right there. Decides to just move on to the next hand. You got 2 stacks shorter than you. Don't really want to tango with the big stack here just yet, with the stack sizes being the way they are.
Everyone playing very good poker here.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
$20,000 up top, that is the amazing value of this tournament. Yeah. $200 buy-in, 20K up top.
Over 100 times your return. That's beautiful.
It's so much money that the government wants to know about it.
George looking down at 69. Says nope. Man looking ace-queen, which
he says yep.
Feels like pocket kings. Pocket kings is all the hands he's been raising.
Right.
The 3 high, the Jack-9s. And here's the beautiful thing is when you're playing like this, as the chip, you know, the chip leader, the table captain, the big stack, you're opening a ton, you get a hand like ace-queen. People might not give you enough credit here, get paid off a little more than usual.
Especially if they have like an ace-jack, ace-10,
exactly.
You know, or rag-ace suited, might look really good.
King-queen. Unfortunate for him, no one has anything playable. Take down the pot.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, guys. We have a very exciting 5-5 no limit hold'em game. Couple of really fun players in the game. A gentleman known as James Plasek. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Yep. James will be on the live stream making his debut. And also a big fan favorite will be showing up here tomorrow night to play in the game. We got Sticky Rice in the game. Kai will be here.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Also, the rest of the lineup is phenomenal. It's going to be an action-packed game. And it's going to be Justin Squared. I'll be here with Justin Kelly. So definitely be one of those shows you just don't want to miss.
You never want to miss Justin Squared.
Justin Squared will have a new Urban Dictionary word of the night.
That's great. I love it.
Everyone loves the Urban Dictionary word of the night.
Standard open here from Wilson with king-queen suited. Looks like he's raising to 65,000.
Ryan with ace-jack, we're going to see some fireworks, it looks like.
Yep, ace-jack on the button. I expect to see a flat call here. Possibly could 3-bet. You can go either way. Wilson hasn't been opening a lot of hands. That definitely plays into his decision here a little bit. He's covered here. I think flat calling is really...
Oh, and
wow.
Ryan moves all in. Dye is going to look down at 4-2 and run away.
And Ryan's got 21 bigs.
I believe we are back around to Wilson, and he's going to let it go. So Ryan going to scoop another pot with that shove there.
Nice.
Made more money with ace jack than with pocket queens. How about that? Always feels like a special treat when we get either you or Kyle Kitagawa in the booth. I mean, you guys you're part of the team. You're not special guest commentators, you're part of the team, but you guys are on the move so much. You guys are all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's great when we get you back at home and we get you in here to talk some poker. Appreciate you being here, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Dye seems to be getting that 6-7 a lot. Now this time it's suited. Let's see if that changed its mind about playing it. It is an unopened pot as well. 30,000 to go. The blinds did go up about 8 minutes ago.
And definitely expect to see open here on the button. Hand that can play well the flop.
I love suited connectors, and that's probably why I don't final table a lot.
Love them too much.
They're a lot of fun to play.
And here's George with Queen Jack.
Yeah, George is
so aggressive. He's so aggressive.
I love it.
And he's got 15 big blinds.
He's gonna scoop.
It's a nice little shove there from the small blind. You know the button's opening super wide.
I love it.
You're probably gonna be matched up decently if you get
George,
called. Take it
teach
down
me
a
to
ton.
play tournaments, please. Seriously, this guy. It's funny because we watch the stream sometimes, and it's not like the ABC knowledge, you know. It's like he's doing things that you don't read in books or that you don't get in like instructional videos, and it's consistently good. So believe me, George, I'm watching you close. I'm getting my free lessons right now.
Taking notes.
It is nice on the live stream because we can really see what he's doing it with, because when you're at the table you just see him making moves.
You don't know what he's doing.
You don't know what it is, you know. And Jordan's not the type of player to be showing his hand either.
Long car for prep school. Hello. George looks down at Jack 5 suited on the button.
Oh, that what?
Decides not to play it.
I don't get it. Is that a walk for Wilson?
Yep.
Wilson's gonna get a walk.
Gotta love it. And Wilson's got to love this. You've got the chip leader to your right. You got position on him. The only guy at the table now that could wreck you and just end your night here. And you got position on him. He's got a great seat.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big,
good draw.
Big part of the game here.
So this tournament was full ring until day 2 when we reached the final 60. It was a full redraw for 6-handed tables all the way down to this final table. I think that, to me, was one of the more exciting features of the structure of this tournament, is going 6-handed on day 2. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. I love that switching to 6-handed. It's nice. I love that.
You know, it was really interesting to see some of your regular grinders that are usually crushing full ring tournaments get a little tripped up, like not realizing how different 6-max is.
Yeah, it's completely different. Hand values change.
Yeah.
You know, aggression is so much more important. Position is so much more important.
So pretty exciting change to our regular tournament schedule here at Stone. Starting the first Sunday in June, every Sunday we're doing a smaller $100 buy-in 6-max tournament every Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
What time?
It starts in June. It's 11 in the morning.
Nice.
So the $100 buy-in, 12,000 chips. We're doing a 6-max, no ante, just easy, simple, but it'll be full 6-max the entire time.
I love that.
Redraw later.
Definitely gonna play that.
We're adding it to our daily tournament schedule, and got a lot of positive feedback. So
Nice.
We've been trying to find something that would fit good on Sundays. The bounty didn't really work out. The double points did kind of good, but not the type of action we were hoping to see. I'm hoping the 6-max is the magic bullet that brings them in.
It sounds really good.
I know a lot of players have been asking for it for a long time. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see you here.
I will definitely play that. I love
Cool.
six-handed tournaments are my favorite.
So that's every Sunday starting in June here at
Yes.
Stones, except the last Sunday of the month is our big 30K guarantee.
Nice. And just to reply to the chat real quick, I've never done tanning booth spray. I've never done that in my life. Just got back from Hawaii. Just gotta put that out there if you didn't catch that earlier. George looks down at pocket 8s, and interesting, he limps in from the hijack with pocket 8s. I would not have guessed he was going to limp here with 8s. And I'm expecting a limp raise with the way this hand's played. Wilson puts a really small...
The Marco popped it? Oh no.
No, George limped in.
Wilson
George
popped
limped for
it.
30K.
Yeah,
Wilson makes it 2.5x.
Ryan went 9-8 suited, and I think he's looking at that like wishing he could play it, right?
And he is. He's going to play it.
He's going to play.
You got to figure George here a lot of the time is just going to call the 45K. You're going to get to go 3 ways to the flop for a very, very small amount on top.
And he did it.
And George does just call. This is a very interesting way. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say, okay.
Never mind.
You got, okay, if you're limping
George
the 8s
doesn't
there,
just call here.
If you limp the 8s there and you've put yourself in the spot, you have to shove right here. George. And Ryan's so frustrated.
Do you hear them? Do you hear your table talk? Do you have your table talk in your ear?
I didn't hear it.
One of the players, I don't know who, they're like, come on, George. Like, every
Did it
time.
again. You did it again.
Every time. Sometimes if you just, like it's this connection, if you just pull it out slightly, like, you can play with that a little. Sometimes pulling out slightly works, so sometimes.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it out loud. I was thinking about 5 different things actually. I kept in my head. My mom's watching, so I can't.
Oh God!
Sorry, Mom. I didn't say it. He did. It's not me. It's not me for once making a dirty joke. I can't get it.
That's the only dirty joke so far tonight. We're keeping it very clean this evening.
Very clean. I'm gonna keep sliding this out.
This is not
sticking it back
Veronica and Friends, okay?
I'm gonna keep sliding out, putting it in here, and try to get it to work.
Now it's Veronica and Friends.
So Marco with 5 big blinds shoves ace-5, completely standard 100% shove here with 5 big blinds. You've got to shove any ace with 5 bigs. And die is in the big blind. 130 more to call. And this is actually this is a close call with 6 high because
really
you've got your opponent covered by a lot. You figure you're going to be drawing live most of the time. It's only 130 more to win 229. You're getting almost 2 to 1 on your money. I honestly, with his stack coming into play there, it's a good fold. If he had $1 million in chips, I think I would call. That's very dependent on my stack size there.
The pull it out comment's getting a lot of play in the chat room. I told you, it doesn't take much to influence these guys in the negative direction. They're very dirty minds.
This is just another classic example of when pulling out ever so slightly goes wrong. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it doesn't work.
18 years later.
All right, back to poker. Focus.
Poker, okay? Poker.
No,
poker.
Poker.
Yes, poker.
Okay.
There you go.
Folds around to die. Die looking down at Jack 7 offsuit in the small blind, and you gotta be a little weary of George now. You gotta be very weary of him. He's been making moves. He's been mixing it up.
He's doing the robot. One of his moves.
Die looks like he's just gonna limp. And George with ace 10 is definitely not gonna check. That is not an option here. You got your opponent covered. You got a really strong hand and a big blind. Small blind is limping, so it looks pretty weak. Puts a raise to 80,000. It looks like 50K on top. And die defends. Or excuse me, die folds. George takes down the pot.
Master C just got what I do believe is his first ever
Message.
timeout. Message deleted.
Oh, I
in the
missed
chat
it.
room.
I missed it. Dang it.
And it was by Nightbot. That's like an auto timeout. That's not a moderator. That's the robot that we have in there.
Oh, the like see
The
certain
bot,
words.
yeah,
and, like,
see certain.
snap.
I think he posted a link to something.
Dang it.
Yeah. We missed it.
Gosh. I gotta step my game up here. I gotta pay attention. I'm not watching the poker anymore. I'm just gonna watch the chat for the next 30 minutes.
Ryan gets queens again. Lucky guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ryan now praying to God to get some action here.
Which god though? That's important to clarify.
That's true.
Poker gods, right?
Yes. Folds around to the big chip stack.
35 more to go for man. We haven't seen his hand yet. Let's catch up. He is going to call whatever it is.
Call
Queen 9. He is
offsuit.
crushed.
Wow.
Bad news for man. If anything comes other than 2 9s. Yep, close, but no cigar. And you see a little 4% next to his name? That's not good in poker.
Yeah, that is
It's not
not
like golf
good.
where the low numbers are better. This is poker, you want high numbers.
So man decides to not bet out here in this out of position spot again, as he did last time against Die. Ryan bets 50K, a very, very small bet, into a 159,000, less than 1/3 the pot, hoping to get something here. Oh wow! And did he just? Okay, he's looking at the dealer.
Okay, you scared me. I was
You
like,
see that look? You see when
Yeah.
the player makes that look? I couldn't hear what he's saying there. Thought he might be making some crazy move here. And he's just gonna get away.
And
No need
Jim
to
joins
mess
us in the
around here.
chat room. Nice to have you here, Anthony. And he actually brings up a point that I was noticing earlier too, and was very happy about. It was all regulars at the final table. It was all like regular local players, and we have a lot of out-of-town players play these events when we have the bigger prize pools. And we had all regulars make it. I thought that was really cool. I like to see our loyal players here at Stone get rewarded, especially with a nice overlay in a tournament.
Always,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, it's great. This chat. We're still on the.
Ryan squeezes King 7 and folds Die with 10-8 suited. Is it playable? Could be. We are 6-handed.
And with his stack, definitely a better fold.
George with 8-3 stacking up
I
chips.
love him stacking up chips.
He does have the button. Now the problem though is with the hand like that on the button is players are expecting you to make a move with any hand. See Wilson, who's been pretty quiet. Let's see if he has the calling chips here for 60,000. He's already got 30, and with Ace-6, where I think we're going to see at least a call out of Wilson. Yep, he's playing it safe. He wants to see a flop. And George does hit his 3. He pulls ahead.
And if you're raising 8-3 from the button, you got to c-bet this flop. He does. George wins the hand with a nice little blackjack hand.
Poker's that easy, folks.
Easy game. Play position, close your eyes, raise the button, close your eyes, bet the flop, win money. Easy game.
George is my hero. Hey, just a reminder, guys, we are, as of last stream, we didn't tell anybody. We're making it official as of tomorrow. All of our streams will be simulcast on YouTube. So if you'd like, you can also watch here on YouTube. The one cool thing I like about YouTube as opposed to Twitch is you can actually rewind it live. On Twitch,
that's cool.
you can't do that
That's
till the
awesome.
stream's totally over. So if you miss something, you can back it up like 10 seconds. It's kind of like watching on a DVR.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up to when it's live. So if you want to check out our YouTube channel and follow us and subscribe to us while you're there, we'd appreciate it. It's youtube.com/StonesLivePoker/live. And as of tomorrow, that's official. Every stream will be simulcasting Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So man has bumped it up with Queen Jack on the button, and Wilson wakes up in the small blind with pocket nines. He's gonna take another look before he decides
And so
what he wants to do here.
this is interesting because you're up against the one guy here that can knock you out. There's really no wrong way to play this, whether to flat call or to 3-bet.
And it looks like he does just flat call, and now Marco with Jack 10 suited
Definitely
coming
getting
along,
the right
and
price.
he is going to be
Yep.
a huge underdog, but the flop can change everything.
And there's so many flops where these three hands could all collide.
That's not
with the
one
right
of
flop. That is not it. And Wilson here, gotta love this flop. See if man decides to continuation bet. He is. He's gonna keep the gas pedal down. I like this bet.
Pretty amazing
Got
flop
two over.
for Wilson, actually. He's got to be very happy with it.
And now once again here, you know, this is a tricky spot because you're up against the one guy that can bust you. You don't want to get this pot too big. I could honestly see going either way right here. I could see calling or raising.
Well, Ann Doom's asking in the chat room, he wants to know from you, if being out of position with 9-9, if you would lean more towards a raise on that pre-flop action.
You know, honestly, I would, just because man's opening every hand from the button and the cutoff here so far. You know, and as much as I'm going to be weary of getting busted by him here, you still got to just play your hand strength. Nines against a guy who's literally closing his eyes and raising the button is, I think, a kind of a must. But I also like to play hands carefully sometimes, too, in these spots. So, like I said, I really don't think there is a right or wrong answer. And this is really, really interesting. Wilson flat calls the flop and decides to lead the turn. Interesting line. He bets 125 into about 450.
He's going to take it down.
Nice little takedown.
What about 3-betting pre-flop?
Yeah, I you know, just because
He's going up against the other big
you're up
stack,
against the
though.
big stack, I think it's totally fine there just to flat call, play it safe. What would have been really interesting there is if he flat calls with the nines, the Jack 10 suited moves all in, and then you get a call from the button from the short stack. That would have been, I was thinking about that possibility. It was very interesting to see what you do there with nines now. Do you come over the top? Do you just flat call again? I'm guessing you just flat call again. That'd be a weird spot. Ant Doom asking, would you say 3-bet folding pre is a disaster? Absolutely not. You know, if you 3-bet pre-flop there and he comes back over the top with the 4-bet, I mean, you probably just got to get away. You know, there's too much value here for a massive mistake right there, and you know, running the possibility of running into a bigger pocket pair, and you don't really want to flip a coin with ace king right here.
I'm going to leave you alone for just
Yes.
a second, okay?
I think that would definitely be the idea. You know, that's like kind of the definition of a 3-bet fold spot there pre-flop. Yeah, just ship it in. Just ship it in with nines. You guys have made the chat the chat here very entertaining for us. We appreciate it. George under the gun now, looking at ace jack. Not a question of if he's going to raise, just a matter of how much. He's coming up on 30, about 28 big blinds now. And he's gonna, looks like a min raise, nope, little 70, 65,000 looks like. Little 2.2 raise, nice open sizing. Man contemplating here with 10-8 of spades. In position against the pre-flop raiser. hand that plays well to the flop. Sitting on 2.3 million, just stacking up. Nope, decides to get away. Wilson's not playing. Marco's praying to God that someone's going to bust before he does here to get a little more cash in the pocket, and George is going to take it down, looks like. And Dai can totally flat call here. This is one of those spots where you can really go either way, depending on the player. And he calls. We go to the flop. 7-8-7. Continuation bet by George here should get through and take down the pot with ace high. And he takes down the pot. George is climbing up that chip count ladder. 31 big blinds now. Marco's sitting there with 3 big blinds, just hanging on by a thread. All 4 of these other players here are, excuse me, the 5 other players here are just waiting for Marco to bust out. And Wilson's gone from the hand, so might see an open here with 10-9 offsuit from man. I'm kind of expecting it. Yep, he decides to open up. His hand just got a little stronger with a guy with 3 big blinds to your left and a guy in between you sitting out. He's essentially cutoff raising now. And 10 high takes it down. Wilson comes back to the table. Wilson will be first to act. Hey, what's up? Marco, there it is. 3 big blinds with ace queen. You basically have the nuts. Oh, and this is a perfect spot for Marco, the dream, really. Dai waking up with ace jack suited. Definitely gonna see at least a call here from him. And I think that a flat call here is definitely the best play. His open would be about 2.5. Dai calls, flips up the ace jack suited, and much to his dismay, surprising, he doesn't have the best hand. Marco just shoved 3 big blinds with ace queen.
Oh.
Dai calls ace jack suited. Here we go.
Okay.
So far, so good. Dai hoping for a jack or a diamond on the turn. The deuce. Now Dai's hoping for that chop again against Marco,
Yeah,
for the
right?
the wheel chop. Let's just make it 2 wheel chops. Looking for the 5 for the chop. Not this time. Marco doubles up.
So was
queen.
Dai was the short stack going into this hand?
No, Marco shoved 3 big blinds, and Dai called.
Okay, so Marco's doubling up.
Yeah, so Marco's gonna have about, I think about eight big blinds now or so.
Very cool. So are you heading out to Vegas?
I am. I am not sure yet. I have no idea.
I have my flight already booked.
Nice.
So I'm only going to be out there for 4 days. I'm going for the TDA Summit, the Tournament Directors association. They meet every 2 years to vote on rules and stuff,
nice.
and rule changes and
I
stuff
didn't know
like
that was a thing.
that.
That's cool.
But I'm going out a few days early. I'm gonna catch a couple of tournaments at the WSOP. Maybe play a couple ARIA events. Hang out with my boy Sean McCormick out there, and anyone else, any of our viewers. If you guys are gonna be out there, let me know. You have my number. It's in the chat room. Maybe we can meet up and have a beer. Some of you guys I haven't even met yet. I'd love to. So please don't be shy. End of June, I believe the 28th to like July 1st, 27th or 28th to July 1st. So if you're out there during that time too, I usually just randomly run into you in Vegas.
I know, that's how we do. That's how we do it.
Last time
funny.
I was there, I'm just walking down the strip and I hear someone like, God, that guy sounds just like Michael Longcar. And I look around the corner. Oh, that is Michael Longcar. All right, it's so random.
In a huge crowd around the strip. Funny. So Marco, this is interesting. He has 9 big blinds, and instead of moving all in there, he decides to open raise, which does the same job there. Yeah, that was funny. That was super funny.
It was just really random.
Late too. Late night.
Oh yeah, it was like 10 or 11 at
Oh, that's
night.
true. Never mind. Never mind. It was lunchtime. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I don't even remember why I was there that time, but I try to get out there a couple times a year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just all over the place. I haven't made a set schedule yet.
I will buy tequila for the right person. It has to be the right person.
So it folds around the die from the hijack, and he shoves 9 big blinds with pocket 8s. A great standard shove here. George makes the right play and calls with ace-king. Once again, both players played his hands perfectly, and we've got another massive flip between Die and George here.
Die's tournament life is at risk here.
And this is exactly what Marco has been hanging on for a thread, hoping for someone else to knock out ahead of him. Ooh, Jack, Jack 5. Die looking good. 2-1 favorite, heading to the turn. 3 of clubs on the turn. No improvement for George, looking for only an ace or a king to knock out Die here and send him home in 6th place. Oh, and there it is. The king.
Ouch.
King me.
And all the way to the river.
That is
Not even like you gave him hope. That's the worst.
the pain of this game is real, for sure. Good game, Die. And right there, the classic butterfly effect of coin flips. Die finishing in 6th place for just over $3,200. Everyone's guaranteed $4,660 now. 5th place payout. Difference of 15K now between 5th and 1st. And George is gonna have a little deja vu here. Looks at a ace king again. Back-to-back ace kings for George. Now sitting on over $1 million. Climbing up that chip count.
I'm gonna call it right now. George is gonna win this.
He's
You want to take a
good.
bet?
He's
What do you want to bet?
I got everyone else.
Everyone else.
Whatever you want. You want to bet your house?
Holy crap.
No, I don't want to do that. No, if I have
Do you
everyone else.
have a house to bet against?
I don't
my
have a house. I don't even have.
You gotta have something to back.
I don't have a cardboard box to bet.
No, I'm not betting my house against a cardboard.
Okay, so what do you want to bet? You name
We'll
one.
just for a drink after the show.
Okay.
Friendly
friendly
bet.
drink.
I say George is. I win if George wins or is part of the chop. Deal?
If George wins,
Or is part of a
or
chop.
is part of the chop.
Yeah, that's winning. That's winning because of a chop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's totally
All right.
fair.
Deal.
And I'm probably
King Louis Trey.
I'm probably definitely buying you a drink.
You can afford it. Just skip one payment on that cardboard box.
I know, right?
Ryan with the flush draw here on the turn, or he had it on the flop. George with kings, gonna 60 to go. I think George's gonna put some pressure on. Hopefully he said something, otherwise that would be a string. I didn't have my earpiece in, so I couldn't hear.
Interesting hand.
Yeah, so the dealer is saying something to George about at a normal table that would be a call, whatever. I think what happened is that he, I'm guessing right now, but I think he put enough chips in that it was more than half of the amount.
Oh,
and in
that's
a
what's going
tournament, that makes it a raise, a minimum raise. But if it was a live game, even if you were just $1 short of a full raise, it wouldn't go.
Oh, wow.
Now that ace peels off, and that is a dirty card, gives George 2 pair.
Wow.
And Ryan makes the heart flush draw.
So the flop goes check, check.
very
Ryan bets.
brutal.
George called the turn. Interesting hand.
Ryan loving this river card, absolutely loving it.
And Ryan checks.
A very disguised flush.
George bets 100K into 275, and Ryan snap moves all in for 613. And
Did George call?
wow, I'm thinking George called.
That's my horse.
Wow,
That's my horse.
timing is everything.
Right.
Timing is everything.
Damn it.
Wow, what an unfortunate river. The ace of hearts.
It was like the perfect heart to trap George in right there. Very difficult to get away from. The way the hand was played, it did not seem like his opponent was coming in on a flush draw.
And it's very, very interesting to me that Ace King raised, George raised pre-flop with Ace King, checked back a King 8 Jack 2 heart flop, and he was trying to put a raise in on the turn?
I mean, he did. I think he ended up.
Oh, he did. So did he? Okay.
Yeah. That's why I didn't have my earpiece in quick enough, but when I put it in, Jenna was kind of lecturing him on this, this is not exactly how you're supposed to do it, so.
And George's still sitting on 16 bigs. I mean, he's still in this. He had a lot of chips before the hand went down. Unfortunately for him, he kind of trapped himself. If he would have bet the flop, bet the turn, Ryan's going to fold that turn there to the right, the correct bet amount there.
You think?
That's 6-high flush draw. Yeah, I can't really continue if, he's a short stack there. You got a 6-high flush draw on the turn, facing an under the gun, showing a lot of strength. Kind of trapped himself there, unfortunately for him. Man looking down at Jack Deuce of Diamonds, deciding to mix it up still with his loose aggressive play pre-flop here. Man opens with the Jack Dewey. Marco makes a fold there with King Jack offsuit. Doesn't want to get involved. George looks down to ace 4 suited. And here we go, back to the George man heavyweight bout going on here tonight.
Well, George is fortunate that he built his chips up so that after doubling up Ryan,
Yeah,
he can still be somewhat healthy here.
Oh, he's still. I might be buying you drinks still.
No, you will.
I love it.
I actually I kind of quit drinking. I haven't drank for like 4 weeks, but if I win this bet tonight, I'm definitely having one tonight.
Okay.
So no one catching any piece of this. Oh,
Well,
George?
if that's the case, then if you win and you haven't drank, then I definitely want you to win. I mean, if that's the dynamic going on. 4 weeks, I call BS. Call you out.
Really? So the tournament is going on break after this hand, but don't go anywhere because we're going to stay here. We have a story to tell you, and I think you're going to do the thing, the elbow thing. Yeah. See, there you go. Actually, I have a couple things to talk to you guys about. First and foremost, thank you guys for being here. It's a night we don't normally stream, so it's great to have these guys here. And don't forget, tomorrow, Monday, we have James Plasek and Sticky Rice in the game. Two fan favorites. I think it's going to be a very fun stream. A lot of other action players in the game. Third Wednesday of every month, check out our new show, Lawn and Friends. You know about Lawn and Friends? Well, Veronica got fired. We had to hire her back, but on the fly, we made a flyer for a new show, Lawn and Friends. Did you see it?
I did.
Okay.
I saw the edit, the face cut out.
I thought you were going to be seeing it for the first time here.
No, I
want to see if Bob would put it up for us here. But there is actually something really important I want to talk to everybody about, and that's the $1 million promo. I thought you were plugging your ears.
No, everyone listened.
Because this is pretty cool. It just started on Friday. Actually, we have a flyer right here. I can get you guys the exact dates. So get out your pen and paper, because you're going to want to know what's going on here. We have this brand new promotion here at Stones, the $1 million limit hold'em event. That is right. You can win $1 million for playing limit hold'em. This is how it works. Starting last Friday up through August 12th, you come play limit hold'em, you get a full house, you get a ticket to be entered into a drawing. Okay, simple. Just play limit hold'em, you get tickets.
Okay.
There are 3 drawing dates. One's on June 17th, one's July 15th, one's on August 12th. They're gonna draw at 5 and 6 p.m. for $200, 7 p.m. for $500, and then at 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30 p.m. for a ticket into the $1 million game. I'm gonna tell you about the game in a second.
I'm so interested right now.
Because the game is off the hook. It's really cool. So 3 different drawings. They draw throughout the night. There's cash prizes. There's 3 seats on each night given away: June 17th, July 15th, and August 12th. All right. If you're one of those 3 that get the seat, the 9 finalists will play the evening of August 12th right here on Stones Live. We're gonna live stream this thing. All right. It's a limit hold'em tournament. Now I know, boring. Yeah, that part may be a little, but the payoff is when we get down to 4 players, the game stops. The tournament's over. Now they move on to this second game, which is very cool. This is how it works. I'm gonna try and stay with me. All right, 20 cards sealed in envelopes. Each individual card sealed in an envelope. You have 10s through aces, so you have the 4 10s, the 4 jacks, the 4 queens, the 4 kings, the 4 aces, sealed in 20 separate envelopes. All 4 players get to play this game. All 4 players get a fresh draw. Okay, so let's say I win. I'm the final 4 players. Out of those 20 cards, I get to pick 5 cards, and I'm gonna open my envelopes on the live stream. Now, depending on what those 5 cards make is what I'm gonna win. And here are the payouts. If I make any hand, doesn't matter what it is, $3,000, the worst I can do. I'm gonna get $3,000.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, the guys that went out 5th, 6th, and 7th, $2,000 still. 8th and 9th place still get $1,000. So no one's going away empty-handed. If I get any hand, I get $3,000. If I make a straight, I get $5,000. A full house, $10,000. 4 of a kind, $25,000.
Wow.
If I open up a royal flush, this is not a joke. $1 million payout.
Wow.
Okay, 4 people will get to try this.
Wow.
How sick is that?
This is wow.
Now look, okay, I know the first thing that everybody says, because people are naysayers, and naysayers are going to naysay, right? So the first thing everybody says is, oh, you're never going to get a royal flush. That's stupid. That's so hard.
I mean, I'm really curious what the math is on this. It can't be that bad with just this little amount of cards.
I'm glad you asked, because I know the math.
What is the math?
So let me ask you this first. Do you know the math in a regular deck for a royal flush?
I want to say it's like 1 out of every.
Somebody knows.
650,000.
Can somebody tell us, for if you have 52 cards in a poker game, what are the odds?
It's kind of embarrassing to know this exactly.
Making a royal flush.
Somewhere around 650.
We could Google it. Wizard of Odds is a good one.
Somewhere between 650, 850,000.
And I'm sure someone in the chat room knows. So let's check it out. What are the odds of making a royal royal flush. So something that popped up real quick is 1 in approximately 650,000. That's rough, right? 1 in 650,000. But out of a 20 card deck like this, it's about 1 in 3,800.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean,
it's not like a flip, but it's for $1 million. You have a 1 in 3,800 shot. I think that's pretty cool.
it's probably the best chance you're gonna get it winning like a random million like ever in your life by far.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
and after the government taxes you, it's like you're gonna take home 600,000 still.
wow.
Damn government.
I like the sound of that.
Damn government,
I know, right?
always taxing us. So that being
crazy,
said, this is going on right now at Stones. So you can earn tickets up to June 17th. There'll be a drawing. All those tickets are cleared out. And then from June 17th to July 15th, another collection of tickets. They're random drawings for cash prizes, and each of those drawing nights, 3 people go into this final table. And then the final drawing's August 12th. So when the last person's drawn on August 12th, that's at 7:30, then all 9 players will, a half hour later, will play on the live stream a limit hold'em, single table limit hold'em tournament.
Wow.
Down to the final 4 players. Now, some people were like, okay, so you pick 5, and then I pick 5 from the remaining 15.
What's the...
No. Fresh 20. Every player gets a fresh draw from a fresh 20 cards, okay?
They each player has their own 20.
They have their own personal 20. So worst you can do 3,000. Best you can do 1 million. It's like you can't really lose. But you have to earn tickets. You have to earn tickets to play in this. Go to our website, stonesgamblinghall.com. There's a lot more information on there.
Awesome.
There it is,
Awesome.
right up on the screen. Some information for you. Your chance to win $1 million. 4 people potentially. Technically, yes, all 4 people could win. That would be crazy. And we're going to be live streaming it here. So
all 4 people can win $1 million. That's possible.
Yeah, everyone
Wow.
gets a fresh draw. So up to $4 million could be awarded in this, which is
I'm a pretty lucky guy, so I'm really excited to have the possibility of, long card gambling hall. I think has a nice ring to it.
Are you going to play some limit poker?
I have to.
Is this something that's intriguing you? The values there?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, traditionally, Stones has been known as a no-limit hold'em house. You come in here on any given Friday, Saturday night, there'll be 14, 15 no-limit games going. But ever since Friday, since we've started this promotion, we have had at least 1 limit game. It's been like 3, 6, and 4, 8 lately. But I do want to throw it out there for you guys that I believe in late July, I'm going to double check so I can give you the right date, but I have scheduled and already have 5 players signed up for a 100-200 limit hold'em game.
Oh, wow.
So if we have any big players out there, I'm going to get you the date, and I'm going to give you some contact info in here so that you can join this game, because I do have a couple seats left. That will be July 24th. Monday, July 24th, we will be also streaming a 100-200 limit hold'em game, and that game is eligible to win tickets for this too. So you could win it playing as little as 3-6 hold'em, or you could play 4-8 hold'em. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat. You can also send them to me. I'm going to put my contact information in there as well. You can text me your questions. I'm happy to do it. If you text at 3 in the morning, though, you might not get an answer till the next day. It's just, I do sleep a couple hours a day. A couple hours a day. So anyways, yeah, really awesome. Check it out on the website. Learn more about it. Come in here, earn your tickets, and it's actually a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
1 in 3,800 for $1 million draw. And what if, I just got claws, it's only 25,000. You'd be so disappointed. Poker players can win thousands of dollars and still be disappointed.
It's,
right?
yeah.
And this will be the same thing. I won 25,000 only. Yeah. So that's it. The $1 million limit hold'em challenge. I knew you'd be intrigued.
Of course. No, this is awesome.
All right. Well, our break's over, and we're getting back to the action. New blind levels are now 20,000 and 40,000 with the 4,000 ante. We did lose die on that last hand.
We did.
So we're 5 players remaining, and thank you guys for sticking with us through the break and listening to my pitch on the $1 million limit hold'em challenge. I hope I caught your interest.
It's funny when you said that earlier, I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not.
Oh,
wow.
It's not a joke.
Awesome.
We printed
This is the real deal.
Player, yeah.
I love it.
Cool. So here we go. Back to the action, guys. Thanks again. Yeah, Aunt Doom is right. Poker players would be like 25K. Nothing.
I'm gonna start opening prop bets right now. That if someone does win the 25K, there will be complaints. There will be like, oh, it sucks, I gotta win $1 million.
Very good odds on hitting these hands from a 20 card deck. You know, it changes things a lot, makes it easier.
Marco looks down at pocket eights, playing just under 10 big blinds. The blinds are now up to 20,000, 40,000.
He raises it just to 125K here. Would you just jam there?
You gotta shove.
Yeah.
You really have to shove. It's not a hand you want the big blind to defend and go to the flop with and outflop you with a Jack-9 offsuit that would fold pre-flop.
Yeah.
And now you're getting it in so bad. You're just too short to raise right there. But hey, it had the same effect,
Yeah,
so this time it worked just the same.
Jimmy Bluffett, unfortunately, no, we do not have that bot command in there. It's the big bot command, $1 million limit hold'em challenge.
Nice.
Rest in peace, Jake. We'll miss you. Remember last time we had a limit promo?
Yeah.
Jake was sleeping on the table, not eating for days.
He went all out.
Yeah.
Marco looking down at 10-4. Roger that. Ryan with King 8 suited from the cutoff. Looks like he's gonna come in for a raise here. Looks like 85,000 is the raise. I like it. I like it. Wilson looking down at ace-5 offsuit. Cheap price to defend. Decides to just get away. Move on to the next hand. And Ryan's grinding up. $1.6 million now. And so this, the $1 million limit hold'em, it's for all limit games. It doesn't matter.
Yes, any limit hold'em game.
Any limit hold'em game. Doesn't matter the stakes.
And like I said, on the 20, did I say 25th of July? Man, my memory's going.
For the drawings?
No, for the 100, 200.
Oh, the 100, 200, yep.
Yeah, the 24th of July, it's a Monday, we will be streaming a 100, 200 limit hold'em game. So any of you guys looking for a big game, we're going to have one here. I've got 4 seats left in that game right now. Plan to have it full by then.
Wow.
Should be a lot of fun. We got players, someone asking for 50 cent $1 limit. No, the lowest one's 3.6. So 3.6 up to 100, 200. If that's in your range, come down to Stones and win $1 million. We can say it like this: $1 million. I'm trying to get. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some people from the media down here too, because I mean, if $1 million gets given away here, I want it in the news.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy.
It'd be a pretty good bankroll.
Yeah, just a little bit. just a little bit.
You can play the main event. Oh my God, math is hard. 100 times?
Yeah.
How about after taxes?
60-ish.
Okay. He fires 60 bullets into the main event.
It's funny you said the $1 million. I was actually just talking with a friend yesterday about we need to marathon Austin Powers.
Right?
I haven't seen those movies in so long. I remember when the first one came out when I was in 4th grade. Summer going into 4th grade, I was quoting Austin Powers all summer long.
Oh, I bet everybody.
Yeah,
loved it. I bet everybody loved that.
Do I? Yeah. Yeah, my parents loved it. 10-year-old Michael just quoting Austin Powers. All right, so back to the action. Wilson opens on the button here for 85,000. Ryan's contemplating defending from the big blind with King 6 offsuit. Decides otherwise. Lets it go, and we move on. Everyone's kind of treading a little lightly here. This is now an almost $2,000 pay difference between 4th and 5th. Very significant. 2 short stacks hovering right around 10 big blinds.
What was that? What was that little thing Ryan just pulled there? Kind of leaned over George's chips, and did you see that?
I saw that.
What's Ryan up to?
It's like he's
getting some intel.
Looking at George's stack or something.
Come on, George, you're my horse. Got a free drink riding on you, man.
Oni, baby.
Jesus, look what you started.
That's good. Looks like Wilson's coming in for a raise with Jack 10 offsuit from the cutoff.
I like it.
Looks like a min raise to 80,000.
Oh, Marco ships it.
And Marco
We don't know his
shipping
cards.
with something good.
Well, he's on the wrong sensor.
Oh, Ace
There we
King.
go. Ace King. No, I don't think Wilson can call with Jack 10 here.
Open raise
He does
to...
have 1.7 million, so maybe if he feels like gambling, but it seems unlikely that he will. He has been playing kind of snug.
Yeah, open raise to basically 2 big blinds, facing a shove of about 10 big blinds from by far the tightest player at the table thus far here.
He is asking for a count. He just asked the dealer to pull his chips in and the same amount from his opponent so we can see how much is left.
This is a very...
He's gonna think it through.
This is definitely not... This is definitely something to dwell on here. You're getting a good price, 306,000 to win 556. I think this is a call. You're going to be drawing live here most of the time. Flipping some of the time against 8s, 9s, 7s.
So he calls.
He calls. He's got, and
we got
the biggest part of this call is he can afford it with his chip stack size.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to for sure.
Here we go. Wilson got what he wanted, a 39% chance at this pot. And there
Boom!
it is.
Jack on the flop.
Wow.
Wilson's gamble might pay off here.
Marco hoping for that ace or a king. Backdoor straight draw possibilities, nope.
Ace or king only, and one of the aces is gone. He's got 5 outs left to this river. And
There
that
it
is
is.
not it. Jack 10 will scoop, and that might make Wilson the chip leader. Let's take a look at the stacks here in a second.
Yeah, this game has changed now. Man is right in there in the mix now.
Marco going out in 5th place. 5th place still worth $4,660. Not too shabby.
Good game, Marco. Polo.
It's funny as a tournament director, you see all these people cashing out in these tournaments, especially like this one. You're in for 200, right? And you cash out $4,000, and you'll be like so angry. I got sucked out on that. I'm so angry. Then you're $4,000 richer. It's like, dude, you just won $4,000. I should have had first place. Like no one's happy unless they get first place. But I'm sure Marco's happy. He's got $4,660 on this 200 buy-in 6-shooter tournament, and we're now 4-handed. 4 players left.
Yes, and Marco did a great job there of hanging on by a thread, hanging on, letting other people get knocked out. He got it in good.
I mean, you can't really do anything else in poker. You got to get in good. You got to get lucky. It's got to hold up.
Yep. Folds Turan on the button, who will be opening here with ace-8 offsuit. Looks like a raise to 85,000. 2.1x raise. Man is gonna at least call here with King Queen. Contemplating whether he wants to pump it up. Nope. Just keep the pot small. And off to the flop we go.
Wow, what a flop for Man. He gets 2 spades. Oh, I thought he had 2 spades. That's a club and a spade. No, bad flop. I take it back. Bad flop. Bad flop. Ryan's still ahead with his ace high and also has the bigger spade if we were to go running spades.
And it goes check, check. Ryan decides to not c-bet. And now will Man decide to lead out here? No, he checks.
Checks.
Ryan's got to feel good now about his ace-8. Your opponent checked twice, but he's
Checking
check
again.
back.
Yeah, no one wants to take a stab at this pot. Everyone waiting for their card to come and well, Ryan hits his 8. So that's probably good enough for a small bet at the end, but I doubt we get a call from Man.
Yeah, it looks like he'll probably bet a really small bet here, maybe 60K, 70K, maybe even 50. 75,000, somewhere between 50 and 75, I'm guessing. I'm gonna go. Oh, what is it? What's the amount? 75. There we go. Nice bet.
75,000 bet takes down. He really could have bet on any street.
Yeah.
So there's your chip counts. 2.2 million up top. George holding up the caboose with 483,000. And come on, George, I need that free drink. You can do it, George.
Ah, Wayne. My boy Wayne. OMG, it's variance. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, he hit me up. He's planning another Hawaii trip coming up.
So his B&B that he has is in Hawaii, or
Yes,
it's in Vegas?
Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Is that where you stayed?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, never been before. It's like another world out there. Yeah, it was so amazing. My girlfriend, born and raised in Kauai, so she knew all these little hidden spots.
Oh, nice.
It's so awesome. And George now setting a trap. Here we go again with George and Man.
Wow.
We are going to most likely see an all-in situation here. George limp traps the button with ace queen. Man raises, as we saw before, to 3x. Almost the exact same situation as earlier in the tournament.
I think if George pops it here this time, Man's going to call. Like, he's been very aggressive, and Man is conceded to him.
And more
every
importantly,
time.
George has 12 big blinds. It's a snap
It
call.
is snap call. So
And
here we
are
go.
going to hit a massive coin flip here.
George looking to double up through Man here with ace queen. It is roughly 50-50. They call these situations coin flip, where you have two overcards and a pocket pair. And let's see how it plays out. There's nothing more to do but run the board. All right, ace queen has not come on that flop, so George has two more chances. Another king, and we need an ace or a queen only. Come on, George. Get that free drink for me. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Looks like I'm buying you a drink.
I'm actually disappointed.
No Louis.
No, Louis? Okay.
Well, congratulations to George. Played a great game. Love some of these moves he made in this game. $6,500, and George is one of those guys only bought in once. So
Wow. Very
that's
nice.
a nice little cash for George.
I love it. Look, he's smiling, feeling good about himself. He should. He
The
should
chat
feel, he
room's
should feel good about
very
himself.
happy about me losing my bet. I just don't think that's right. So we are now three-handed here.
Yes.
We got Man, Wilson, and Ryan. Did you see that coming?
I mean, you know, definitely, three really strong players. All came in with good stacks here at the final table. This is where the real game begins. Everyone's deep. There's gonna be a lot of post-flop play here. All three players, very good players. This is gonna be fun right here.
So now we are three ways on this final table, and that means that the button is always acting first pre-flop. It brings kind of an interesting dynamic to tournament play.
And I'm gonna make a prediction here. Ryan's the short stack, and I'm gonna pick Ryan here to win this.
Going for a second drink?
You wanna
Double or nothing?
double or nothing. I get Ryan. You get the other two. If Ryan wins, you owe me 2 drinks.
But he has to win outright.
He has to win.
It can't be a chop.
Chop. If it's a chop and Ryan's involved,
He has to be the chip leader.
we'll call it a push.
Okay.
If Ryan wins outright, you owe me 2 shots. If one of the other two win,
So I get 2 Asians
push.
against 1 white guy?
basically.
Sold. That's an easy bet.
So check to the river. Man hits his ace, puts a little bet out there, takes it down. I love it. A gallon of vodka coming up. Pocket Abe's. Oh, let's play Michael Longcar's drink of choice.
Well, after this week, it's like Mai Tai, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Drink a lot of Mai Tais?
Mai Tais, yes. Mai Tais are good. Actually, I haven't had one in a while.
You didn't have one in Hawaii? That's like the drink you're supposed to have there.
I didn't.
They serve it in a tiki glass, and they're super strong.
I had a, what did I have?
Wait, what island were you on?
Kauai.
Kauai?
Yes.
Well, that's my absolute favorite. It used to be Maui, and then I actually went to Kauai with my sister last year, and she goes there like 3 times a year, and the same type of thing with your girlfriend. She knew where everything was, and it's such an amazing island.
I have 2 friends who lived in Hawaii, not on Kauai, for 10, 20 years, and they both individually said that Kauai is the most beautiful island.
I think it's the best if you like outdoorsy stuff, more laid back, chill.
So laid back.
You know,
I loved it so much.
But if you like more party, nightlife stuff, like Oahu is where you'd want to go.
Yeah.
Go to Honolulu, a lot of nightclubs and stuff like that. I could see you enjoying that too.
And I know most people will probably guess that, but honestly, I loved how laid back Kauai was. That's so me. I love that so much.
It's just a different pace of life.
It is. So laid back.
All right, guys, there it is. 3 players remaining. Man, Wilson, and Ryan. Man has been the chip leader this entire tournament, and it doesn't look like he's going to let it go anytime soon.
You know what I actually had for the first time ever? My drink lately has been the Moscow Mule.
Oh yeah.
I love any kind of
super popular.
I'm a big whiskey guy. I had a Hawaiian Mule, so it was like basically just a Moscow Mule
with rum,
with with coconut rum and pineapple juice. It was so good. So good. I have to get another one soon, hopefully. But yeah, out of you guys, whoever guessed a gallon of vodka as my drink, you nailed it. So more like a gallon of whiskey.
All right, Wilson and Man are facing off with 9-5 and King 5. Wilson dominating.
So Man limped in, Wilson checks.
And there's the King. Wilson has the check mark.
Man's gonna make a stab here at the wrong time. Wilson's gonna look and oh yes, I do have top pair. And a bet of 40K into 92.
Good call.
Just calls.
Jack on the river, and let's see if Man wants to take another stab at this.
I think he's
thinking about it.
I think he's gonna do it. No, I'm wrong.
Tournament director Twee there in the background, doing a great job today, by the way. Usually it's Con there. Twee's kind of like our, I don't want to say B team because she's excellent, but she doesn't work as much as myself or Con. She does a great job, and she's been here with me the whole day since 8 a.m. this morning. We're putting in long hours. But it's been worth it. It's been a very exciting day. I've spent a lot of time out at the tables watching these guys play and the banter going on and just seeing, you know, who's going to last. I've been looking forward to it the whole week, you know. It's kind of a fun thing about having a day 2 a week later. It gets to build the anticipation. So Wilson has put in 100K. Man's thinking this through. Again, like you said, it's just...
I mean, he could be thinking about a check raise here. I mean, if you're taking this long, it's making me think maybe you're thinking about repping some big strength. I mean, this would actually be really interesting if he put a big check raise in, because now King 5 shrinks up on you a little bit here. Because now you're facing either a massive hand that just trapped you somehow, or complete air.
But the way he played it, like, I don't see him having a monster. Maybe a king with a slightly bigger kicker.
Yeah, I'd love to know what he's thinking here. All right, if you're taking this long now, I'm expecting a check raise.
I call a clock. 30 seconds to act.
Horse? What's a horse feather? I've never heard of a horse feather.
I'm gonna just order one tonight, see what comes out. I like Jimmy Bluffett's idea. Knob Creek and Dr. Pepper.
Knob Creek and Dr. Pepper. That sounds
delightful.
That sounds really good. I'm gonna take a little picture here so I remember the horse feather and the Knob Creek.
Be careful, because sometimes these guys put something in there and you Google it later and you get all these dirty pictures. Yeah.
Horse feather.
It's happened to me several times. Okay, there's something else that we might want to consider here. Maybe Man's cards have been misread.
That's a possibility.
Because why would he be thinking this long with 9-5? I mean, he literally has nothing but a bluff. He's certainly not just calling. If any, it's going to be a big raise. Yeah, and there he lets it go. Oh, I guess a horse feather is the same as a mule, but with whiskey.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to have a horse feather then tonight. Okay. I'm having a horse feather.
It just sounds weird.
It does sound weird. It sounds like... sounds like I don't want to Google that. No Google images on horse feather. Just in case.
Just in case.
Okay, horse feather it is. Got me sold. I wonder if they have the ability to make a Hawaiian mule. Like,
if they have coconut rum. We have pineapple juice here. So.
Okay.
You're starting to peel like a snake, by the way.
I'm super peeling.
Shedding his skin.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
3 players left out of 516. One of these players going home with 20K. It's a lot of Ks.
Yeah, everyone's feeling pretty good about themselves right now. 8,800 is...
Worst you can do is 8,800, right?
It's nice.
It's pretty good.
I'm really going to make a conscious effort to not look into the future this time. All right, man, looking down at Ace Jack on the button. Loving life right now. Sitting on 2.2 million. And it looks like an open raise to 100,000. 2.5 times the big blind. Ace Jack. Wilson probably not going to continue with 6-8. Makes the fold. Ryan throws away 5 high and man scoops the pot. Have a good night, Rick. Thanks for joining us as always.
Rick and Barstow's out. All right. Tune in tomorrow, Rick. We got the Urban Dictionary word of the night coming. It's your favorite segment. He hates it.
Does he? Have you guys ever, Longcar or Justin, have you guys ever done a Ray Charles?
What do we? I mean, you're just gonna leave us hanging on that one?
Or are you just gonna like slap us with a?
What say? It's got to do something where you don't know what the drink is and you drink it blind without looking or something, right? It's got to be a blind reference. The 4 horsemen: Johnny, Jack, Jim, and Jose. That sounds like death. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Ah, King Queen working on a full house. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I like that.
Instagram
that name is great.
Instagram friends.
And this is what is very common when you have a 3-way action in a tournament. Is you're going to see basically every hand gets played. You can't sit around and wait anymore.
Yeah.
You got to constantly be trying to take stabs at pots. Ryan does turn trips. Unfortunately, man doesn't have much to work with here.
And this is going to be a marathon here. All 3 players playing. So Ryan limps in out of the small blind. Flop and man checked. Flop goes check check. Ryan bets the turn. Man snap called the turn with King 9. He obviously thinks his King High is good, which totally could be here a lot of time. Just under 200K in the middle. Ryan trying to decide how much to bet. Definitely doesn't love that backdoor flush hitting. And he's putting in a value bet of around 105,000, a little more than half pot. Man taking his time.
Really?
Nothing new here. Oh, wow. He put a raise in, I think.
Wow. Bad time to
And
do
you know,
that.
Ryan is in a really tough spot now.
Really?
Oh,
Well,
no,
'cause of
it's
the
a raise.
hearts?
It's a raise to 250. And look at that.
Yeah, he's not happy about it, but
I would have really liked to see a bigger raise. I mean, your opponent bet's 105. You raise to 250. You're going to get a call here from a lot of non-flush hands with the sizing being so small. I would have really liked to see a raise to about 350. 350, I think this would have worked. I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, I mean,
price is
that
too
price
good.
he has to call.
And who knows? Maybe Ryan, though, might think he's making a massive hero fold here, which you got to trust your gut. And if his gut's telling him he's got the flush, he might be able to fold it for here. But
Well, I mean, that is what he's representing, and he has put a bet out for value, but I think you're right. Just a little more, and he prices them out.
I think 350 might have done the job here, especially with how fast he called the turn. I'll be pretty surprised here if Ryan folds.
Split cam fail.
But he thinks he has the flush, and it
Wow.
worked.
Great bluff. Is he going to
Wow,
show?
that is
No.
sick. That's a
well, he
sick-
didn't show him there, but if they're
So now we
looking up
know.
at the screens.
Now we know the man really was thinking about making a sick check raise with that 9-5.
Yeah, he's
he was
thinking
thinking about it. He didn't pull it, but he was literally thinking about it. He was not just sitting there Hollywooding.
And that's why a man is still the chip leader.
From the Netherlands. Welcome. Very cool.
The split cam fail was entertaining. We know it's not easy. We got some guys training back there tonight. They're doing a great job. A lot of people watch the stream. They think this stuff is just happening automatically. It takes 3 guys back there to keep track of the bets, the chip counts, switching the cameras, running the stream.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
It's a lot of work. Those guys work hard, and we always appreciate them. Look at that chip stack from Man.
Building a castle. Min raise from the small blind. Wilson decides to not defend with 10-4 offsuit. The Netherlands.
You ever been?
I have. I love Amsterdam so much.
Amsterdam's a lot of fun. I always try to go to a new city, and so far I have. I don't really, like when I travel, I always pick somewhere new that I've never been before.
Yeah.
Amsterdam is one of like maybe 2 or 3 places that I would actually go again.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
such a good time.
Me too.
Just really enjoy the culture there, how laid back people are. And the party scene is a lot of fun there too, right?
It is. It's a lot of fun. You can go. It's one of the few places in the world you can buy an espresso and a joint at the coffee shop. Take a stroll down the street.
Yep.
Beautiful scenery. Play a little poker there at the casino there in the downtown area. Really nice casino. All right, to the flop. We've got another limped small blind, check big blind action pre-flop. Everyone's treading really lightly pre-flop. Really lightly on all streets here. Everyone's keeping pots small.
Do you think that's the way to play at this point in the tournament? Or would you be opening up your game? I feel like you should be more aggressive here at this point. Be putting pressure. If these guys are tightening up, be putting pressure, scooping up blinds and antes. Because, I mean, you're paying a lot.
Yeah.
It's coming around quickly.
I am a little surprised at how much pot control is going on right now.
OMG, it's Variance. Thank you for the compliment. We appreciate it. We're always trying to keep things fresh and improving here at Stones Live. Check us out now on YouTube. We're simulcasting youtube.com/StonesLivePoker/live. Grinding Away is asking a question in the chat room. He wants to know how many of these guys bought in stacks from all 6 days. I don't know if guys bought in multiple times or how many times they bought in, but I do know that everyone that's remaining here in the final 3 were all single qualifiers. None of these guys combined stacks. As a matter of fact, there was only one guy at the final table with a combo stack.
What was the most amount of times that someone made it to day 2 in this?
3. One person qualified 3 times. 7 people qualified 2 times, and everyone else was a one-time qualifier. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's such a big advantage to people with high bankrolls. They can just play every flight. But they still have to qualify every flight, and that's not easy, you know?
Yeah, now once you start to get super deep, now you have to make a really deep run just to break even.
That's
so
true.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So man flop in 2 pair here, and he's gonna scoop it up nice and easy.
Yeah, I'm guessing we are not going to see a chop. I'm predicting
all players. They're all players.
Predicting we're going to play this out.
As they should.
Man looks down at 10-4 suited. Very deliberate in all of his decisions. Makes it 95,000 looks like. 55 more to call from Wilson, who I'll expect to defend here for 55k more in position against the aggressive man. The aggressive man.
If you see those giant towers of plaques in front of the players, those are worth 25k each.
Oh, I love the plaques.
Pretty cool, right?
So cool.
A pretty interesting flop. King, 3, queen, 2 spades. Misses both players, but backdoor draws for both players as well.
And let's see if man here will continue with the C bet that will probably get through and win this hand. Looks like a bet of 100, half pot bet. And with the way Wilson's been playing, I'm not expecting a call here, but here we go. Again, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're bringing out a different game here as they get 3-handed, and he's just going to call, maybe setting something up for the next street. Here comes your turn card. It's a 6 of spade. Kind of a scary card, especially when you get a guy just calls behind.
Yeah, Wilson's got to like his hand that much more there with the turn. Jack high flush draw figuring to be good most of the time.
Or he could hit a 10.
Or he could hit 10.
Disastrous for man. He might think he has a pair. It might be good. Interesting to see what man does here on the turn card, though. D Bizzle is taken off for the night. Feel free to check back in tomorrow. The VOD will be posted up on Twitch. You can pick right back up where you left off and see how it ended. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
appreciate having you here.
And I was gonna say, Wilson bets here, and unless man decides to pull another crazy, well-timed
he's
bluff,
yeah,
he's gonna do it here.
He knows when to do them. That's for sure.
And it looks like this bet's going to be too big for man to mess around here. He's just going to take it down here.
That should do it. But he's going to think about it for 2 minutes before he folds. Oh, instant fold. All right.
Instant fold.
And Zoom in the chat room is asking when the next tournament series is that you have coming up. It's not really a series, but if you go to stonesgamblingHall.com, you can see we just recently posted an event for the end of July. We're actually having a 40K free roll.
Oh, wow, nice.
So that'll be a fun one. It's got the last Sunday structure, 40-minute levels, and we're going to live stream the final table for it.
What's the qualifications for getting in this free roll?
So you can earn your way in 3 different ways. One of them is by just playing in the live game. 135 hours gets you a tier 1 entry, 155 hours a tier 2, and 180 tier 3. Let me explain that real quick. Tier 1 is 5,000 in chips, tier 2 is 10,000 in chips, and tier 3 is 15,000 in chips.
And you're talking about live cash game play.
You play in the live cash game, and you just get to a certain number of hours, and you can turn your hours in for an entry. The other way is in the month of July to win any of our daily tournaments, a player field of 50 or less for tier 1, 51 or more for tier 2. And the third way, if you feel like it, you don't want to do all the other stuff, you can just buy in a tier 1 for 150, tier 2 for 300, and tier 3 for 450. But the best part is you can combine your tiers. So say you earn a tier 2 in cash game and a tier 1 in tournament, you can combine them, make them a tier 3 entry and a 15,000, or you could keep them as 2 separate entries. Try and use a 5,000 entry, you bust out, come back with the 10,000 entry. So
nice.
A lot of options, a lot of fun options. The prize pool will be put up by Stones. $40,000 prize pool, regardless of how many players. If we get 500 players, 40,000.
And
if we get 10 players, 40,000.
What's the range?
The payouts?
No, the range of time from when the hours gets counted.
It will be starting the day after the last Sunday tournament. So next Sunday is the last Sunday for May.
Okay.
So the 29th is when you begin collecting hours, May 29th, and it'll go all the way to, I believe, July 27th.
So
whatever
just about 2 months.
July is the event is the last Sunday in July. So it's like a 2-month run to win tournaments or build up your hours and get your free entry. And like I said, if you don't want to do all that other stuff, you can still just buy in 150, 300, or 450, depending on how many chips you want to start with. But no matter if it's 20 players, it's still going to be 40,000. So it should be fun.
Nice.
Just trying, like I said, always trying something new and fun here. So we'll see how it goes. And we love to give away money. As you can see from the 6-shooter here, 12,000 overlay. And July, we're just giving away 40,000 just to give it away. So yeah.
Awesome. Should be okay.
That is already up on the website. If you just go to the homepage, there's like 3 buttons of upcoming events. One of them says the Stones 40K Player Appreciation Tournament. Go check it out, click on it. You're going to want to mark that off on your calendar because that'll be a lot of fun. I know there's another big event in town that week too, so it might also be a kind of a small field. It's possible. We'll see. Free money.
Free money. All right.
For good poker players.
Yeah. Ryan looking down at Ace King on the button.
It's like solid gold to pick up Ace King in a 3-handed poker game.
Makes it 100,000.
That should do it.
Wilson thinking about it.
Wilson might call here.
If you're Ryan, you're saying, please re-raise. Nope. Wilson calls. To the flop we go. 6-7 deuce. Be interesting to see if Ryan decides to continuation bet this or not. Looks like he is reaching for chips, and this should end the hand. That's 80K into 222,000. 32,000, excuse me.
Right, and you can hear Twee in the background, Tournament Director Twee announcing the blinds are up. We're now going to 25 and 50,000 with
And
a 5,000 ante.
Look at this. Wilson's getting creative here.
Now,
Says,
with his tight image, that makes this a very powerful play.
yes. The old flat call from the big blind, check raise with nothing, representing a lot of strength here. 80K to 290. Almost a 4x check raise. And Ryan's hands are tied. He really can't continue on in this hand.
Yeah, he has no backdoor
Excuse me,
draws.
310, a 4x raise.
He's got to be thinking that Wilson's hit a 6 or a 7 here.
Wow, and I think I just heard Ryan say all in. He did.
Beast.
Wow. I love it.
3 million. We are playing
And a
poker
snap
here.
fold from Wilson. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So you weren't wrong about Ryan. He is a solid poker player.
He's a very good player.
Ryan's still holding up the caboose here, but just slightly now. All of these players pretty close to each other.
We have a game now. Everyone has very similar stacks. And you know, something that's just not talked about enough. I'd be willing to bet that Ryan had a big live read right there on Wilson somehow, one way or another.
Did you
Picked up
catch
on that
anything?
weakness.
Did you pick up on anything there?
I didn't. You know, there's nothing that really stuck out to me right there, but it's a whole nother game there when you're sitting across from the table and watching someone for hours and picking up on little things and trusting your gut. What advice would you give a regular cash game player who's looking to add tournaments to the mix? And Downswing says, don't play tournaments.
Nice.
Well, I think that, you know, just taking some shots and getting in there and getting the experience under your belt. You know, Stones has nightly tournaments here a few nights a week that are really good bankroll boosters where you can risk around $100 to win a couple thousand and
Yeah, I mean,
good structures.
You want to, first of all, play buy-ins you can afford.
Yep.
You want to do a little bit of research. There's some great books out there to help kind of get you familiar, because as a cash game player, if you go into tournaments with the same mindset you play in the cash game, you're not going to do well. It is a different strategy. So pick up a couple books. He's a regular cash game player. The Harrington books might be too basic for him. But there's a lot of good books out there, and you can just kind of Google them and read the reviews. Have you had any books that have really influenced you, Mike?
I honestly haven't really read much.
He only reads books with big pictures in them. And,
That's about right. Yeah, no, I really haven't read a whole lot.
Now, are you just telling him just to
No.
take shots in tournaments because you want to play against him and try and take his money? Is that what you're doing
Well,
here?
no. I, you know, there's so much good material out there. I know that. I'm trying to remember what the name is.
One of my favorite books, all-time favorite poker books, is by Gus Hansen. It's called Every Hand Revealed. And to me, it was like such a big separation from all the other books that were like, here's the math, here's how you figure out what to do, and they're so ABC, you know, so technical, where Gus Hansen is more of one of these players that is doing live reads, looking at the other players, trying to size them up, what their capabilities are. But the best thing about this book is it walks you through every hand, not just the big hands or whatever, the hands he won, the hands he lost. And I guess in the making of this book, before he wrote it, he was playing this tournament. He won the Aussie Millions. I don't remember what year. I'm sure someone in the chat knows. But he was stepping away and talking into a recorder and saying what was going through his mind. So he went back later, went through the recording, and wrote this book where he walks you through every single hand where he entered the pot. Basically, if he folded, he doesn't walk you through it.
Wow, and look at this. Ryan put a bluff on the river with 5 high. Wilson makes a pretty big hero call with third pair. And he's going to win this hand.
He did call already?
Something's going on. Something. Floor's
We're getting a TD
called.
called.
Yep, TD's being called over. Not exactly
Let's
sure
listen
what
in, guys.
happened.
Let's listen in and see what happened here. It sounds to me like he wants to see his hand. I think Ryan doesn't want to show his hand, and Wilson wants him to show it, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what's going on. So the rule is, and I'm not sure what Twee said there, but the rule is that anyone in a tournament with a live hand, still in possession of their live hand, that has called all bets all the way to showdown, they do have the right to request to see another player's hand, as long as it hasn't already been.
So I'm guessing from the camera there we couldn't see that maybe Ryan tried to muck his hand face down. He still wanted to see it.
I think Wilson wanted to see it, but you have to be careful in that situation, because if the player, you request to see their hand and then turn it up and it happens to be the winner, it's live.
Yeah.
It's live and it wins. So you have to be careful about that too. Personally, me, if a player's throwing their hand away, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Throw it away. I don't care. I'm getting the pot. Give me the pot.
I mean, it's a little ruthless right there, but we're playing for a lot of money. He wants the information.
Yeah, he wants the information.
And he got it. I've actually seen that happen before, and then the guy just literally stood up, shoved his hand in the muck,
I've
saying,
seen that a couple times, yeah.
"You can't see it."
I mean, what do you think about that? Like, when players ask to see another player's hand, like, is it bad etiquette?
When I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, I always made people show. And I sometimes would get people going off on me saying, that's poor etiquette. And I looked at the game so black and white then.
Right.
And now, as I've gotten older, I've realized it really is bad etiquette. It really is.
So even though it's your right, you think it's better just to not do it?
Yeah, especially...
I mean, how big of an advantage do you get from it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that most of the time it's just bad etiquette. It's I just don't like it.
So, horrible flop for both of these players. Wilson's still going to put some chips in with his pocket sevens, and that'll be good enough. Just hoping, put a little bet, hope man hasn't connected with any of that. Yeah, Ant Doom's in the chat room. He says he feels like it's bad etiquette. It's like, you won the pot, man. You don't need to see my cards. I'm conceding. What do you want to rub salt in the wound?
And Cruel says if you call, it's not bad etiquette, it's the rules of the game. And that's what I always said when I was younger. It's the rules of the game.
When you were black and white. So what made you change your mind? What made you say it's okay? What made you, when you were younger, say, yeah, I have the right, I'm going to see it, and now you're saying...
Honestly... And obviously when I say, people get so upset and it just causes a huge, people get really flustered, then someone will come back and say, well, that's good. I want to tell people. I want to upset people. I want to get under their skin. I want them to get upset. But I've just seen it happen.
You don't feel like that anymore?
I don't feel like that anymore. I've seen it happen so many times where it just can create like too many games to go from like a nice social setting and a good atmosphere to just a not good setting and just darken everything. And
but isn't there something to be said for putting people on tilt? Makes them play
absolutely.
bad?
And I there are situations, especially if the pot's big enough and I'm playing against someone I play against a lot, I am gonna make you show it. But it has to be a pretty drastic situation for me to do that now.
Yeah, or you just flat out just don't like the person.
Yeah, of course I don't like you show.
Manflop's top pair here was 6-7, and Wilson with a gut shot straight draw. He decides not to continue. The stacks are deep here now. Ryan with 1.3 million. Man and Wilson really close. Wilson now has taken over the chip lead.
Yeah, he's that ace-10 call was a really big call. That third pair call. That was a really big
ATC
hand.
Dan says it's bad etiquette if you keep asking hand after hand after hand. Savage Medic makes a good point, though. He says that Wilson may have a read on Ryan and want him to show his card to prove his read is right.
And that
gives him more information.
I love what Poker Sniper just said. Remember, if you need to see their hand, you're also giving the entire table information about the guy. And that's the thing, too, is like lots of times, a guy makes a bet, and maybe I call a little light, and he does the whole hand in the hand in the air saying you're good. It's like, okay, like I was right. I don't need to see that he had 7-4 offsuit or this or that. Like I know he had nothing.
So what do you say? Throw it away, right?
I just flip up and then they muck and that's it. That's just what I do most all of the time. Don't get me wrong, there are some times where I make people show sometimes. But most of the time I'm just gonna flip it up.
But like you said, only if you don't like them.
Or if the pot's really big.
Next time you do that to someone, they're gonna be like, I saw you on the live stream, I know what that means. Long car doesn't like me. Ryan connects with his ace, Wilson connects with his king, man, swing, and a miss. It checks around. Wow, what a turn card. What a dirty, dirty turn card. It does check around again. Ace 4 is 2 pair for Ryan and the check mark.
And Wilson now, thinking his king queen's good, he's going for a little thin value here. Looks like a bet of 80,000 into 315. Excuse me, 50,000.
Interesting spot for Ryan here. It's a pretty wet board. Diamonds, straights are out there. Ryan picks up 2 pair on the river and now has to call what looks like Wilson trying to squeeze value out of this hand. But then again, for 50,000, how can you lay it down when you have 2 pair? It's almost just worth it just to call and see, you know?
Yeah, and
which I think is exactly.
no, he's putting in a raise.
I stand corrected. He raised.
And you know the thing is he did just pull a bluff with 5 high and have to show it. That's
forced to show it, right?
Definitely going to play a little bit into this. The bet is so small. I mean, the bet was 1/6 of the pot. It really doesn't feel like a 1/6 of the pot bet out is going to beat your 2 pair here in this situation. You just showed 5 high on a crazy naked bluff. All this plays into this situation. He might pay this off here with king queen. He does have the ace of diamonds blocker.
He lets it go. Question in the chat room for you, Mike. When was the last time you got slow rolled, and does it make you mad? Sounds like there's a story here.
I actually got slow rolled by my best friend.
Not best friends anymore.
Yeah, no, he. I've never. I've actually never enjoyed a slow roll more than this. It was. It was a shorthanded game actually in the last few weeks with my buddy Jason, and he raised pre-flop. I called with pocket 6s pre-flop. Actually, no, it was a 3-bet pot pre-flop. I have pocket 6s. The flop comes 6, 7, 8. He bet into me. I called. The turn came a deuce. He bet 150. I moved all in for like 600, and he tanked. He started tanking, and I go, just not even considering the fact he's gonna slow roll me. I go, oh, well, now I want you to call, and you know, and boy, he still tanked, and like we were chatting and this and that, and he finally called and flips up the nuts and smacks it on the table at me.
9-10?
9-10, and I was yelling, you know, this is the one time he needs to press the board to smack you with some karma, and
wow.
He shipped. But I loved it. It was just, there was a lot of talk going on where I was talking some smack, and
that's great.
I probably deserved it for the smack I was talking. It was hilarious. I wouldn't have obviously enjoyed it if it was anyone else.
So man has the check mark here with just a pair of 3s, but Ryan's betting into him with a broken straight draw.
And looks like he doesn't believe it, and he's gonna ship it. And now Ryan's shown 2 bluffs. Even if he doesn't show his hand, it's obvious he's bluffing here with nothing.
Chatter in the chat room, I can't say your name, but wants to know if I'm Lithuanian. Absolutely. He's right.
You're Lithuanian?
Yeah, nine times out of 10 people guess I'm Greek when they see my last name. Every once in a while, someone goes, "You're Lithuanian, aren't you?" And I'm like, nobody knows where Lithuania is. Like, how do you know? That some people just know, I guess. I don't know. But yes, you're correct. Lithuanian poker commentator.
Nice.
Jim says he's seen people get into fights over slow rolls.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen it too.
Of course.
I actually, as a dealer, got accused of slow rolling somebody when I was putting out the river card because I went out like this and paused for a moment and then put it down. And he got so angry because it was the card that killed him. He's like, and the dealer even slow rolled me. I was like, dude, it was like a half a second, but very emotional over it.
I didn't tell the best part of that story that we were playing in a 1-3 $500 cap game, and there was a lot of talk going on, and basically we
By the way, Wilson has pocket kings.
Oh wow. So pause.
Hold that
Time out. So man raises here to 125K. Big blinds at 50. It's 75K more to call, and Wilson is trying to decide how much to repop it here.
Very tense final table here
Yes.
with 3 players remaining. 20,000 up top, and Wilson wakes up with pocket kings. Man raising into him for 125K. And looks like a repop getting stacked up. The chat room is screaming for a flat call, and I think they got it. Oh no, he announced raise. Okay, so he announced raise, he put his call in, and it looks like about 175,000 more.
200 more.
200 more, okay.
And it gets away.
He's gonna let it go.
Very nice.
Brink 1984 asks, so it looked like Ryan mucked his cards against Man, and Man didn't show his cards either. Does the winning hand not have to show? That is correct. Unless a player is all in that situation, if any player's all in, every hand that reaches showdown must be shown. But if it's just bet, call, no one's all in, and it comes to showdown and a player mucks, the player with the last live hand does not have to show. He can just muck his hand too. The pot is going to be awarded to the last live hand in that situation.
Yeah, just really quick.
Oh yeah.
We got the floor to agree that if he calls and I lose the hand, then I can buy in for more. I can buy in for 1,000, 500 games. Jason's like, oh, he can buy in for 1,000. Okay, I call. He flips it up. It was great. I laughed. I died. So min raising the button here with 6-9 suited, giving Ryan a really good price to defend with 8 high, and decides not to. Still anyone's game here.
Yeah.
Wilson and Man basically tied for chip lead. Ryan 1 double up away from swapping with either one of their stacks. And momentum is, I think, one of the #1 things that people don't talk enough about in poker. Momentum is definitely a real thing, whether you're talking individually in one tournament or over the course of many tournaments. Momentum is definitely a real thing. Momentum definitely in Wilson's favor here as of late. You can kind of feel it. And there it is. He's chip lead now, moving up, riding the momentum wave.
Suited Aces says that he got accused of collusion in a tournament here once because he didn't show after someone mucked. Accused of collusion for not showing. Just sometimes people just say dumb stuff, you know.
I don't know.
I was playing in a tournament recently where a guy made a bet pre-flop, and the blinds had just gone up, and the guy that made the bet, everybody folded, and he thought that the blinds were the new level. So when he got shipped the pot, he's like, hey, I think I'm short, and he just politely asked the dealer to check, right? And so the dealer pulled everything in. He go, no, look, it was the old blind level when it started, and he did everything right. So I ended up at, after the table broke, I ended up at another table with the same guy that was on the big blind that basically was asking him to put more money in. And the guy was like, yeah, this guy at the other table was just such an ass, and all douchebags. When like going off because he just did something so like people can be very sensitive about these things.
Yeah.
And I think as a player at the table, and maybe I'm wrong about something, but I should still feel comfortable to ask.
Yeah.
And you have that right as a player to get the information. It doesn't mean that you were trying to screw someone over. You just weren't aware, and you want to make sure. I think that's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
So, but the other guy, he took it personal, and that was unfortunate, I think.
It is funny to me when people get so butthurt over things like that, when it's just, especially when it's a rule to the game, like it's a rule for a reason.
Yeah. We try to make people very comfortable here at Stones. To feel free to ask those questions. There's no stupid questions. It's the only ones are the ones they don't ask.
Yeah.
You're not sure? Call us over. That's what we're here for. We are getting paid to help you.
Yeah.
So do that. We got Brink 1984 thanking us for answering the question, but also says he's going to be visiting and he's going to have an opportunity to slow roll Michael. He's pretty excited about it. Make sure you do that and let me know when you do it so I can buy you a drink. All right, we got Wilson and Ryan facing off here, Jack 9 and Ace Queen.
So Wilson limped in, Ryan made it, 150,000, 100 on top, makes it a 3x raise. Definitely some history brewing between these two now. And Wilson's saying, I don't like it, I'm out of position, I'm gonna get away. That's not a bad fold there. Honestly, if someone slow rolls me really bad, I will wait 4 years to get you back. I will wait in the weeds. I will remember you and get you back so bad. So good.
Never forget.
I've seen that happen a few times where someone just slow rolls someone so bad.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting 3 years for this. I've seen it like 3 times. I've been waiting 4 years for this moment. You don't remember me, do you? And the guy doesn't even remember. But the guy that got slow rolled sure remembered.
Cruel 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
If you are going to be making your first trip to Stones next weekend, and you're going to be here on Sunday the 28th, and you can spend the whole day here, you need to check us out because the last Sunday of the month is our 300 buy-in, 30K guaranteed deep stack tournament with 40-minute levels, 20K in chips. We'll have 150 to 200 players. We'll live stream the final table. It's a great event, and if you're only going to come here once, that's the day I would come.
It is. Yeah, it's a really
Awesome
good structure.
event.
I'll be playing in it, so you can slow roll me if you're at my table.
Buy-in for that one is 300 for next Sunday. 300. It's a one-day event. It'll wrap up that day. It is about a 14-hour day. I don't know if you're asking about that one we were just talking about or this one. The buy-in for this one that you're watching was 200, but there were 6 entry flights, and you're seeing the final 3 players right now.
And interesting hand here. Wilson opens the button with ace-5, and Ryan decides to jam 26 big blinds with queen jack offsuit. And obviously this is gonna get through. Wilson's never calling here. I'm really not a fan of Hollywood folding. I just don't understand it. I'm actually a big fan of snap folding in the spot, like literally just snap folding in a spot where you know you're literally never calling.
Well, my favorite is when the player's sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking, and eventually you look at them and you go, "Do you know what's on you?" Oh, crap! That was like
That happens too much.
It's like,
That happens way too much.
I folded a long time ago in my head. But you think this is a definite fold here?
Yeah, and he is. He folded the second he heard the words all in. I really don't understand why. I guess he wants to make Ryan sweat it out a little bit. Maybe try and.
No.
He's never
maybe
calling
you're
it.
wrong.
I will buy you.
You could be wrong.
I will buy you 5 drinks if he calls here.
Whoop. Stick him in. Yes! It's on video. Verbal's binding. You can't get
It's
out
binding.
of this. Look at he's shuffling his plaques. He really wants to play this hand. Look, they're three-handed and aces. Any aces like
I'll buy you 5 drinks over a course of time. However you want them. When do you want them?
over a course of time.
Like
that's
one drink
close to
tonight.
5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
5 minutes.
We could do that.
Well, it'll be -1 because I already owe you a drink for my.
Okay,
prop
5
bet.
drinks and negate the 1 drink, so it's like 6 drink.
See, Poker Sniper agrees with me. Three-handed, any ace is golden. Come on, Wilson. You just gotta call one all-in bet, and I get 5 drinks.
No, I don't have a slow roll I owe anyone right now. I'm not waiting in the weeds right now. Hopefully, I won't be anytime soon. Well, I definitely got to get back.
Oh, I thought he was folding. Come on, no, don't.
I definitely got to get back my best friend in that spot. He knows I'm gonna get him back, so I am waiting. But it's. So yes, I am waiting.
And there goes my 5 drinks. All right. Question in the chat room: what makes a good tournament structure? What do you think?
Good starting stack. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is the amount of time, the amount of time to go up in between levels, and I think it's so important too when a tournament hits all those little in between levels.
Mm-hmm.
You sometimes
basically you get lots of play.
Yeah,
you're not like just playing all in poker all the time. You're actually getting some maneuvering, and so you need decent amount of time on the levels. Slow blind increases.
good starting stack.
Good starting stack.
But yeah, so many times you're in tournaments that go from 100, 200, to 200, 400, to 400, 800, to 500. Just big jumps.
Yeah,
and it's just horrible. 40-minute levels, 20K starting stack.
Poker Sniper adds in he wants a decent amount of time for breaks too. Are breaks important? How important are breaks? We used to do lunch breaks in our Saturday and last Sunday tournaments, and the players said they didn't really need them, so we took them out. We just do 10-minute breaks every 2 hours now. It's sufficient, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be just hanging out in the casino doing nothing, right?
I mean, honestly, if I had my choice of what's best for me, I would love a tournament with 3-minute breaks.
3-minute breaks.
Go to the bathroom,
Time
come back,
to pee
boom.
and come back?
Go, right back in.
What if there's a line in the bathroom? What do you think of those Iron Man tournaments that have no breaks?
I've actually never played one.
Really?
I still haven't
Would
played
you?
one. Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll go buy the leg bladder, put it in the pants.
I hope no one's doing that here.
I'm not going to do the Antonio Esfandiari.
All right, Ace 3 versus Ace 7, and kind of an interesting flop here where Man flops a gut shot straight draw with this Ace 3.
Man min raise from the small blind, and you definitely have to continue here once you've raised this hand with this flop. And Wilson just
instant call.
Snap calls.
And we get another 6 on the turn.
And Man says, I don't care that you snap called, I'm still going to bet the turn. And interesting, now he bets the same exact amount, 1/4 pot, and...
Looks like a raise might be coming in here.
It's, 125.
Just a call.
Just a call.
And the third diamond does make the board, which could be a scare card, but no one completes any draws, no one hits any pairs. Ace 7 is out front here, so Wilson, if he can get to showdown, is going to win. Does Man have it in him to fire again here?
I was just going to say, I would love it so much if he fired her and really puts Wilson on the test, because Wilson, his reads have been right on.
Yeah.
All these big hands the whole way here, and he's definitely in the zone right now. He snap flops, snap turn, he's confident he's good, and he is good. So this will be I really just for the dynamic of seeing if Wilson's gonna stick to his guns here. And Man checks.
I think in Wilson's shoes right here, there's no reason to bet.
Oh, absolutely not. You got a lot of showdown value. You're gonna get called by really any 2 pair here, I'd imagine, unless you bet huge.
He's checking.
Very
Taps
nice.
his fingers on the table and rolls over Ace 7. That will scoop the pot. Phil Helmuth chimes in the chat room, says props to Wilson if he wins this pot. Well, there's his props. He won.
There you go.
Good job, Wilson. Wilson growing his chip lead. Man, and Ryan now down, getting shorter and shorter, 1.9 million and 1.5 million. Wilson dominating the table.
Yeah, he's carrying that momentum. His read's been right on. He's playing really good.
Guys, anybody that would like a little more information on that 40K player appreciation tournament we were talking about earlier, I put a link in the chat room for you. Go check it out when you get a chance.
Nice.
And I have a link here for the $1 million limit hold'em challenge as well.
$1 million in cash, please.
On the live stream.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna hit on the live stream. Look, we've been saying forever that we want a jackpot to hit on the live stream. It hasn't happened, so we're just gonna do $1 million then.
Let's just put all in one.
Let's just make it happen.
That'd be awesome. God, that'd be huge national news in the poker world if that
That'd be great, right? Loan for Cards wants to know how we got 500 plus players into this casino. 6 entry flights. Easy.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yep.
We're problem solvers here.
Two flights a day over 3 days, 6 flights. Everyone could just barrel away at this tournament. What do you say, 16? Someone bought in 16 times?
One person did, yeah.
One person bought in 16 times, so
So
that's
crazy.
how. That's how. That is crazy.
16 buy-ins. All right, looks like we got all 3 players in this pot. Family pot for the first time. King 10 hits a big flop. Top pair, second best kicker. Solid gold.
And everyone checks. Oh, nasty turn card. Wilson turns the gin. 5 on the
Pretty
turn.
gross. And you were talking earlier about momentum, and this is exactly what momentum is. I think Ryan really missed a huge opportunity to bet his top pair there.
And that's the problem of being out of position there. You know, it's difficult sometimes to do that.
Well, Wilson's not going to make the same mistake. He's stacking up chips for a bet. And it looks like about maybe 125? 105.
And honestly, with the way this hand's being played, I'd really just like to see a flat call here from Ryan rather than a check raise. There's obviously a backdoor flush draw that got there, but I mean, there's really not a lot of draws out there. You've got to feel really confident with hand.
And 6 on the river. It looks like a pretty safe board for Ryan, but he's going to check it anyways. And now Wilson's just going to see how much he can bet and still get called here, because he's pretty sure that he's good.
I'm going to say he's going to bet.
This could be Ryan's last hand. Let's look into the future.
I'm going to say 275. And
I think you're pretty close there. It looks like he got called too.
yeah, that's really unfortunate for Ryan. He has to call river. And 250 was the bet. Luckily for Ryan, he still has over 20 big blinds, so still totally healthy. Wilson still carrying the momentum torch. I mean, he really lost the minimum on that hand. Pocket fives now for Ryan on the button, opening the action here three-handed. Everyone's guaranteed a payday of 8,800 plus. Over 20K for first. Here in this ultra unique 6-shooter tournament. And Ryan decides to jam the button, 21 big with fives.
We should do it.
Takes it down.
Alex is asking for a link for the tournament on the 28th. You know, that's the next week, the last Sunday of the month. We don't have like a specific page for it, but it is on our tournament schedule. I will get you a link to that. Give me just a moment. Great event, by the way, and I'm not just saying that because I work here. All right, so this link I'm putting down there, just scroll to the bottom where it says special tournaments and look for the last Sunday of the month tournament. That should give you all the information you need.
So Wilson decides to limp in from the small blind at 6-4. Ryan checks the 6-9. And flops Gin, 9-9 Jack. Instantly checks back on the flop. Love it. Unfortunately for him, Wilson has absolutely nothing and is probably not going to put another penny into this.
Timo wants to know if there's an app for Stones. Yeah, actually there is.
Yes.
It's called Stones Gambling Hall. Just go into Google Play or iTunes and search it. It's actually pretty great. You can see the tournament schedule, you can see the food menu, and if you register here at Stones, you can actually sign up for games right on the app without even having to call in, put your name right up on the board. Do you use it?
Great. I do. It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Free app. It's pretty great. It does a lot of cool stuff. Definitely recommend you get it.
Ryan looking down at a suited ace-7 from the small blind. Limps in. Now it's definitely become more of a trend over the last year or two of just limping 100% from the small blind. It creates a big meta game. If you know your opponent's literally never raising, he could be limping aces. He's limping his entire range. It creates a lot more of a trappy dynamic. Keeps pots small, you're out of position. It's definitely a trend that's really caught on with a lot of players, over the last couple of years. I've actually been doing it a ton in tournaments over the last year or so, more so than ever before.
What about min raising from the small blind?
Yeah, that's the other option.
I like in that position to make my opponent at least have to make a decision to either is this worth putting any more money in, because then you never know what you're up against when they check too. It could be like 8-3 or something, and then 2 3s flop, and you have no idea where you're at.
Yeah.
I feel like it's better to just do a min raise from the small blind.
It's totally
Wilson
right.
has like a wall of plaques in front of him. right, guys, the blinds have increased. So this next hand, we're now playing 30 and 60,000 with the 5,000 ante, and starting to put a little bit of pressure on these
totally
guys.
Changes the game now. Man has not had a lot to work with here.
The question in the chat room if the 100-200 limit game will be a full kill game. I hadn't even thought about that yet. Does it need to be? It's already a big game. It's a damn big game. Well, no. If all the players want that,
I was gonna say that sounds like a player's choice thing.
It's up to the players, not up to me. I can't play that game. I'm not rich. Not rich like you guys.
There's actually a guy at the Bellagio in Vegas a few months ago who bought in for, I know I'm gonna get these numbers totally wrong, but he bought in for like 5 big blinds or something like that in a high stakes limit game for like 5,000 and cashed out like 300K or something, like something around those numbers of just the insane dream run. But that's what I think he bought in for 3 big blinds and cashed out a few $100,000. Insane. The absolute dream, right? The question here, how is it a good idea to stream a live poker game? Is your commentary on delay?
No, we're 100% live. The game's delayed, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are live here. We are commentating on play from, was it 20 minutes or 30 minutes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes on tournament streams and 25 minutes on cash games.
Yeah.
The reason really, it just comes down to the amount of processing power that it takes between the two. The tournaments are much more labor intensive on our CPU. But yeah, we're live. We're watching the delayed game, same as you guys.
So Ryan turned the nuts here with Jack 9. 535K in the middle. He definitely doesn't love to see that backdoor flush hit, as he now could possibly be beat. But he's first to act here and definitely feels good about his hand, obviously.
The only way this could be sicker here is if man had 2 pair.
Well, what would be really sick here is if man just decides to ship all in on his bet here and put him to the ultimate test. Because this would be the definition of a tough decision. And it wouldn't be the first time that he's repped a backdoor flush against a made hand of Ryan's here tonight.
All right, I'm gonna step out for a minute. Tell me how it ends, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So Ryan bets 350 on the river here, and man is not thinking about calling. He's considering making a move. Nope, not a good spot. Too risky. All right, so here's our chip count. Wilson, commanding chip lead now, 2-1 chip lead over both players. Ryan and Man sitting on the same stack, and Man has not had a lot of hands to play with here over the last hour. Ryan's going to open the action up here on the button. Difference of about 12,000 between third and first. Really, really hoping that, you know, no chop will be made here at all. These guys will just play it out all the way. Looks like Man just limps in here from the small blind with mystery hand. Wilson checks his 7-3 of diamonds. And I'm expecting a bet here from Man. He's been very aggressive in these spots. Nope. Check, check. And check again. And Wilson gets there with the 3. And most likely he's going to ship this pot with a pair of 3s. And Wilson's value betting the river here with the 3. Honestly, really don't like this bet at all. I mean, I don't even know what you're going to get called by. I guess Queen 8 with Queen High making a hero call. And Wilson wins the pot. $4K difference here between third and second. Ryan's had some ill-timed bluffs here at the final 3 here, but has managed to grind his stack back up a little bit. Man on the button with Queen 9. Look to see him raise here. And a raise to 150, 2.5 times the big blind. Ryan not likely here to continue with 9-4. On to the next one. So if you're just tuning in, this is the 6th shooter here at Stone's Gambling Hall in Citrus Heights, California, just off of I-80, 20 minutes outside of Sacramento. Really unique structure in this one. 6 starting flights last weekend over 3 days. $200 buy-in on each flight. And the players all have the ability to combine all of their day 2 stacks into their one day 2 stack. Today started with 72 players. When it reached 60 players, there was a redraw, and all the tables went down to 6-handed from that point forward. The final table here started at 7-handed, and here we are. 3-handed, with everyone guaranteed just over $8,800 playing for $20,000, and the pride of shipping the tournament. Ryan Limpton here out of the small blind is pretty much done with his hand. I'm expecting this to just check out. The man will probably ship here with Queen High. And that'll do it. Looks like a little table talk going on.
Ooh, table talk. My favorite. So the value of the overlay really shows in these top spots.
Yeah.
They're so overinflated, right? You have to beat a smaller field to get more money.
Yep.
Yeah. So these guys taking home 8,800 at the worst now.
Yep.
12,800 in the middle, 20,000 up top.
Gotta love it.
Pretty crazy.
There we go. There's man's hand. Finally wakes up with a nice pre-flop hand. So he's putting in a raise to 140,000. And Wilson does not have a hand.
Kind of a sloppy fold.
Yeah, every hand is so crucial right now.
It's like, you know, I mean, you'd be happy to get $8,000.
Yeah.
But you know you're gonna be upset if you don't get the 20, right?
Of course. And just the unsatisfied feeling. Unsatisfied feeling of just coming that close.
Yeah.
To winning it.
So
just wanna win it. More than the money, just winning it. The competition. Wilson Limpson out of the small blind, and Ryan checks 7-8. And here we go. Little
Couple of diamonds, yeah.
action flop. Ryan flops a gutter ball. Wilson flops an over and a flush draw. And we could see a good amount of action here.
I want the 9 of diamonds on the turn.
The 9 of diamonds.
And then the 7 of diamonds on the river.
There you go. Wilson bets 75K. Ryan's likely to call right here. To the turn, the 5. Giving both players now a straight draw. Ryan with the open ender. Drawing to a non-diamond 9 or a 4 for the absolute nuts on the river. And Wilson decides to check. Interesting spot now for Ryan. Do you fire or do you play it safe and check back? He checks it back. And both players have
Dirty
nothing.
river card, yeah.
Wilson's
they have the
bears
world
nothing.
the whole way, and then nothing.
Yep. Wilson not knowing that he's actually bluffing in his mind with the best hand.
Bluffing with the best hand is actually the best way to bluff.
And Ryan's gonna get out.
Not gonna call with 8 high.
Savage. Savage. Who are some of the big names in this field? I know Mike Postel came really close to final tabling this.
He did. Sean Drake was playing.
Sean Drake was in it
Got a
today.
bad beat early. Natarash was in here.
Wilson now looking at Jack 9 on the button. Looks like he's going to open close to a min raise. 130,000. .2 raise. Ryan makes a very standard shove here with Ace Jack, and man snap folds his Ace 10. And Ryan scoops the pot. Not a whole lot of movement here on the stack sizes for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Everyone's very aware of the big pay-up jumps here. Did either of us enter the tournament? Were we allowed?
Well, I've been working,
Yeah, just a little bit.
and Michael was in Hawaii, also working.
So I was allowed to play, did not play. Rocky, what's up?
Adrian! Oh, sorry, I thought we were doing it wrong. No, my bad.
That's another oldie I haven't watched in years. One of my favorites. I need to watch them.
Great flick.
Need to marathon those.
So it's kind of funny. So we missed this guarantee by $12,000, and one of our dealers here put up this really funny memo, not a memo, a picture on Facebook that said, "This is what happens when you miss the guarantee in a tournament." And let's see if we got Bob back there. He has the picture queued up. So let's see if we can't get it up here on the next break. But it's pretty funny. You're gonna enjoy what happens at Stones when we miss the guarantee by $12,000.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think you've seen this one yet because it's in a Stones thread. Yeah,
Okay.
so only employees of Stones in there.
Love you, Rocky.
That's your number one fan.
Love you, Rocky.
Can she claim that though? Can she claim number one?
She's claiming it.
Yeah.
So Wilson Limpson out of the small blind, continuing the limp small blind
and continuing to flop gold.
flops top pair against Ryan's bottom pair.
Now what's he do here? Does he
Oh, he
check as well?
checks.
Okay.
And now Ryan still with bottom pair. Wilson loving his hand. Wilson now gonna bet the turn. Been claiming it for a year now. Wilson bet 60K. Ryan is hoping to river his 2 pair. Trips.
No dice.
No.
Ace
die.
10 will hold up. Let's see if Wilson can extract some value here.
And it goes check, and it's gonna do it.
There you go. Let's see if Bob got that picture queued up. We can flash it right here. Would be a good spot. Bob, we got it. Ready to go? No, maybe we get it on the next one. Oh, he's yelling at us from back there. There it is. That's what happens. They make the tournament director deal. Yep.
Oh, there's G-Will right next to you too. there.
Get in the box. Yeah, G was playing in it there, so that's me dealing
Oh, that's
poker.
a great picture.
This is what happens when the tournament guarantee isn't met. Like, tournament director is now dealing.
I love it. When was this?
This was last week, one of the early flights.
Oh, that's
we had
awesome.
to emergency push a dealer out of the table. And
That's awesome. I've never seen you. I know you do. Oh,
that's how I started.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but it's been a long time. That's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually played in the home game about a month ago where I was a full-time dealer / player in the game, and I had like a super low chair. And it was like a heavy workout. Like I was like squatting every time to like.
Oh yeah.
I'd, like,
you
stand
got
up
the
and,
right
like-
chair for sure. Savage Medic wants to know what an emergency push is. But it's not that complicated. Use your imagination. So, you know, got to get to the bathroom in like the next 30 seconds or something like that, right? Literally an emergency push. In more ways than one.
Yes.
Man with ace king.
Limps in from the small blind. Hoping for a king high flop here. Oh, there it is. Here we go.
And now Wilson connects with his king as well.
And this will be an interesting hand. There hasn't been a lot of big hands here going on where 2 players have 2 hands that can create a big pot. And this is the first one we've had here in a while, 3-handed. Man leads out. Wilson,
Wilson
Rightfully
hits
so,
a
feeling-
4.
oh,
This
wow.
is going to be really sick.
yeah. Both players here loving their spots. Wilson has every right to believe he's got the goods here. Blind versus blind. Man's been very aggressive.
Chat room saying 4 is coming.
4 coming.
We're feeling it. We don't want to root against man. He's a good guy.
100K into 255.
Now, what's going on in Wilson's mind
Looks like
here?
Wilson's contemplating whether to call or raise.
Phil Helmuth says that Wilson is good. He'll escape it. And I think you're probably right. He's hanging on to the end to see if he can get any help with that 4.
I would give 2 to 1. He's not going to fold this on the river.
Well, let's check to him so he doesn't have to.
There you go. And this is going to be what they call value towning yourself, where you think you're good, going for low value, and then end up valuing yourself. But he should think he's good here, and this is just one of those hands where nothing you can do.
And you're right. He is going to value bet it. And,
Flips it up confidently, and he's going to be pretty surprised here.
Yeah, ace king. Poker Sniper says, oh, that was you in the Under the Gun interview with Tuckman the other week. That is correct. That was me. That was a lot of fun. And I believe we're going to do a full show coming up soon. But yeah, Tuckman called me just kind of off the cuff before a Stones Live episode, and we did an interview live on his show for like 20 minutes. It was fun. Nice. Yeah, unexpected and fun. We love Tuckman. He's been here to Stones Live several times. Commentated on our Fall Classic last year, and he's done a couple other special events. His first time here was for the High Roller. You remember the High Roller?
Yeah.
The 1100 bind?
Yep.
Did you play it?
I didn't.
Did it?
No.
You missed all the good ones.
I was out of town.
Service on 11.
What's up? Good, man. Good to see you.
Always getting booth bombed.
on the
Shaq
button?
Spinner has a question. I think it's a good question for you. He wants to know, shouldn't Ace King of Race
Check raise river? No.
pretty strong hand.
I mean, yeah, but with the
Hitting
10,
his king.
with the 10-7 on the flop and the 8 hand on the river, there's too many now. There's too many 2-pair straight combinations that hit.
Just too uncomfortable on
He's
that board.
pretty much just making sure he's not going to be put in a spot where he's betting and then getting raised, and now he's in a tough spot. Oh, and here we go. Here's gonna be some fireworks. Ace King for Man raises
Oh,
the
no.
button. Ace Queen for Wilson.
Man loving life right now.
man.
Especially if he knew Wilson's
This
cards.
could be a massive hand here that changes the whole tide of the tournament here. Man sitting on the button with about 27, 26 bigs. Ace Queen three-handed facing an uber aggressive, or should I say, a guy that's been opening very often, very wide, the whole final table here. Ace Queen, every reason to believe you have the best hand now. See if he decides to put the re-raise in. Looks like he's going to.
He's stacking up a lot of plaques. Yeah, he's thinking about it. It has been raised already to 135. It's 105 more
Wow,
for
he's
Wilson to
pumping it
call.
up. Man is gonna love this.
Yeah. Little does he know, Man has
Wow.
him dominated. Is that an all-in?
And that is an all-in.
Well, it's not from Ryan.
No, from Man.
All right, so we're waiting for the graphics to catch up here, but it looks like Man has jammed all in, and Wilson still has his cards in front of him.
And Man just snap shoved all in the second it was on him. Wilson's gotta hate that.
It's going to take some time to think it through here, and this is the one thing I always like to tell poker players, whether they're veteran poker players or whether they're brand new poker players, don't be afraid to take a moment and think things through.
Yeah.
You know, it's you
That was-
bought in, it's your money, it's your clock. Sit there and take a moment. Not every decision is a snap judgment. Something might have changed since you made your original decision, and there's no shame in taking a moment.
Oh yeah.
What do you think he does here?
Well, first off, his 3-bet size was so big. It was a really big 3-bet.
You think he committed himself?
You know, very borderline.
Yeah.
It's very borderline.
He's like counting, sticking his fingers on Man's chips and counting them up.
Yeah, he's irritated
I
right
love
now.
that.
You know, he's irritated. This is a big hand. Your hand shrinks up so hard when your opponent just snap shoves the button. You know, you figure to be flipping or crushed here now with Ace Queen. There's so much in the middle. It's 1.2. He's getting literally 2-1 on the call here. But if he calls, he's going to be the short stack.
He's definitely not happy with this decision.
I'm going to guess.
Put him in a tough spot.
I'm going to guess he's going to call.
Yeah, Poker Sniper says what I would say. Don't touch my chips. You stay in your space over there. I'll stay in my space over here. Or as like I like to say, over here.
Actually, I'll never forget one time, 7-8 years ago, I sit down at a table, first hand, and I put my chips on the table, and a guy literally grabs my stack and puts it over in his stack
Oh, hell no.
and just starts talking crap, and it was just this crazy, like,
What'd you
never
do?
seen anything like it. I didn't say anything, I was just laughing, like, hoping that he would get
Kicked
penalty.
out?
Yeah, something. He had a lot of clout, though, and just got away with it, which is crazy, but...
Wilson really eyeballing Man here,
Yeah, this
looking
is-
at his stack, trying to see if he can get any physical tells. He's going to count them again. Wilson, get your hands off the man's chips.
This is comical. Oh, wow, there it is.
And it's a
man
call,
is
guys.
loving
Turn them
life.
up.
Oh,
They're gonna run the whole board.
wow. Oh, man,
Ace
just
Queen
loving
is a
life right now.
huge dog. Man has got to be very happy at this moment. And there it is. Nothing. Wilson looking for one of three. 10.
Oh, my God.
Oh, what a sick run out. Oh, my God.
Oh.
No.
The pain is real.
Oh,
the
man.
pain is real. Oh, my gosh.
How do you get a flop that is so sweet, and go runner, runner? That was the hand of the night.
That's the hand of the tournament.
God.
Wow.
Wilson has him covered.
And
Man
Ryan
is eliminated in third place, getting it in Ace King, Ace Queen. Can you believe this?
And Ryan is just loving life, squeezing into heads up, an extra 4K in his pocket.
Wow.
And as they say, it's all about making the wrong move at the right time.
He knew it was coming.
Sick.
He knew it was coming.
So
That's
sick.
the only explanation for that. Runner straight.
That's
The
so
two big
nasty.
stacks battling out. How sick. Well, Man has still had a very great night. In for one buy-in, $200. He's cashing out $8,854.
Oh, and that pot was worth so much money right there. That's
oh,
just such
yeah.
a sickening feeling.
Well, that pot right there, it cost him $12,000 basically. But like I said, $8,000 is not nothing. So tournament director Twee is out at the table, chatting with the players. I have to say, I don't think there's chop negotiations going on here because Wilson has almost every chip on the table. ATC Dan says the best / worst comment. That's poker.
That's poker.
It's true. That is poker. Sick hand.
Wow.
How many times has that happened to you though?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
So gross.
Wow. Hopefully they make a chop here because that was part of the deal. If Ryan's part of the chop, then
Oh, I totally forgot. We had that bet. Is it for 5 drinks?
yeah. No.
Oh,
No.
he said yes.
No.
He said yes.
Verbal's binding.
That was just one drink.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was a double. It was a double or nothing.
Yeah, the other one was Wilson just calling that one bet. You said there's no way.
No way. That was a free roll. I gave you a free
Okay, so basically if they chop, you win. If Ryan comes back and wins, you win. But if Wilson takes this down.
I hope he plays. He should play it out.
Okay, so this is good. 12 minutes to go to the break, and the players are asking if they can take a break before the break. Twee's over there giving them the business. Guys, there's a break in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, tough it out.
Come on.
So it looks like they're going to go on. That is kind of funny, though.
Wow, that's so sick.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
I think now, Wilson, it's going to be hard for him to lose. He's going to actually have to work at losing at this point.
Yeah, basically.
So here we are, heads up poker, the final 2 players of the 100K guarantee Stone 6-shooter tournament. Wilson and Ryan facing off, and Ryan, a huge dog with just about maybe 500, 600,000 in chips behind. So his thing says 1.4 million, but I don't think there's that much in front of him.
Yeah, he's got.
Is it?
Yeah, he's got 1.4.
Okay.
And
1.4 million out of 6.1 million in play then.
Ryan put a really small min raise-ish type
Wilson's
of raise
all in.
in, and Wilson shipped on him.
And basically, Ryan's going to have to find a spot, take a stand here, try and double up to get back into this game. Right now, with this dominated chip stack, Wilson is just going to keep the pressure on, as he should.
Wow, so sick. 4-1 chip lead now. But hey, Ryan doubles up, and we're almost close to even the chips.
So there you have it, 4.8 million for Wilson, 1.4 million for Ryan, 6.2 million in play. Heads up, final 2 of 516 players. These guys have played a great game of poker. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun being in the booth
It's been a fun
here.
final table. And we just saw one of the grossest suckouts ever. Runner for straight.
Pain.
Just wasn't meant to be.
Nope.
Ryan McQueen 5 suited is going to call. Wilson Jack 8 offsuit, and it's going to a flop.
We've still got a lot of play here left. Over 20 bigs effective. Ryan
hits his queen.
Loves that flop.
Yeah.
Middle pair and a flush draw. Unfortunately, Wilson has nothing to continue with.
That hasn't stopped him in the past.
It's true.
Ryan bets 60K. Wilson has calling chips. Let's see if he wants to do it though. He lets it go. One thing I really like about Wilson is even as he's gotten this massive chip lead, he hasn't gotten reckless. He hasn't been like, I can afford it and made stupid calls. His game has remained consistent.
Yeah.
So these
And
guys,
it always helps when you hit perfect.
yeah, that does. That most certainly does help. Second place still going home tonight with 12,862. First place breaking the 20,000 mark, $12,504. And no matter what happens, everyone at this final table has just played an absolutely great day of poker. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Players playing here heads up for $7,600.
Flipping for 8K.
Nice little, nice little heads up match. Wilson's going to continue his limping from the small blind strategy, looks like.
Six three here,
Not a lot
facing off
going on.
against 6-7. Ace comes on the turn. No one's connecting here. Ryan checks. Wilson checks. River card is an 8. Wilson with the best hand, 7 high.
Savage in the chat. I should have went to bed already. I have a triple bypass to perform in the morning. Well, we're glad you have your priorities straight.
Hey, I'm his patient.
It's all about the
Yeah, I'm really screwed. Wilson scooping a pot with 7 high.
Gotta love it.
It just never ends.
Ryan just waiting for that golden spot for the double up so he can get back in this game and make a run at it. He's played a really solid game here tonight as usual.
Ryan picks up 7-4. Now Button is always first to act and heads up. Wilson goes all in with 9-3.
Wow.
Scoop, scoop, scoop.
That's pretty crazy to me.
I mean, he probably is thinking at this point, you know, any 2 cards, as long as they're live, I just got to get him to put his chips in and flip. But Ryan has a little bit of time to wait and be patient here. That is the good side, but even getting it in good, he's still at risk. That's the downside.
Yep. Wilson limps the button. Ryan checks his option. Both players with a whole lot of nothing here. Both players decide to check. Ryan turns an open-ender with his already best queen high. Wilson turns the lower end of that open-end straight draw with the 4. And actually...
Gut to the high end.
Yeah. Ryan bets 60K, and I believe, yeah, wow, Wilson moves all in with the draw. Obviously hoping that Ryan just lays down, which he's going to.
Maybe this is when Ryan decides to make a stand.
right, you got a 10 shot free roll now on this one. 10 drink free roll on this one.
I mean, he doesn't know it, but he's actually ahead.
So sick of it.
With an open ender. What a call. Rusted Man in the chat room says he feels bad that we didn't make our guarantee. Don't feel bad. That's what guarantees are for. So you know you're going to have a great tournament and a great prize pool to pay for, regardless of if enough people show up or not. Trust me, we can afford it. I mean, not me, but yeah, someone. Yeah. We wouldn't have put the guarantee up if we weren't willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
To all the players that did come out and support this event, we really appreciate it. We know it was a little different, and sometimes different scares people, you know, so they might not play because the combo stacks, or maybe they're uncomfortable with the 6 max portion, and that's fine. My biggest fear was that running the final 2 flights on Mother's Day would have scared people that they're with their moms, but actually those were the 2 biggest flights.
Nice.
Yeah, but that might have been because we were looking at probably like a 30,000 overlay at that point.
And it was juicy. Yeah.
But we made it up quite a bit, 12,000. Happy these great players get the lion's share of it. They've played a great game and they definitely deserve it. Wilson with Ace King.
And we'll see if he continues his limping the button strategy.
Ryan with King 9.
He does, as he should. If he's limping the button a ton here, he should be limping the button with everything. And Ryan might ship. Oh, wow. I think
Did he?
I think, wow.
He did. He shipped. And Wilson should be a snap
and
call.
Here we go. Wilson.
This could be
for
it.
the win.
Ryan at risk, and he's basically looking for a 9. Good luck, guys. Whoever wins. Great game.
7-7-8 flop.
7
Backdoor straight draw for Ryan. There it is. There's the back door.
Okay, he's got a chance.
6 jack or a 9.
11 outs, and they're all there, and that is a
it.
swing and a miss. Guess what, folks? The 6 shooter is over. We have a champion.
We have a champion.
Wilson, who picked up massive momentum in the end of this tournament, got a huge pot. Got very lucky, runner with ace queen versus ace king, and from there just completely dominated.
Yeah, that was a great final table. Everyone played really well.
So Ryan, second place, not too shabby either. 12,862 for Ryan. Wilson is picking up 20,504, and the real MVPs are you guys watching at home and chatting with us in the chat room. We really appreciate you sticking around this entire stream, and for really, honestly, it was one of the most exciting final tables that I've watched on Stones Live. It was very cool, some very fun hands, and some great players.
Yes, and the structure was great. Everything, yeah, it was a good one.
The only bad thing about this tournament was that you didn't get to play.
Next time.
You guys rock. We're going to be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with some 5-5 no limit cash game action. I'll be here with Justin Kelly as JK Squared. We'll have another Urban Dictionary word of the night. But until then, you guys be kind to each other, take care, and peace out from Stones Live.
Mahalo.